The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, what? Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston on this Overreaction National Championship, Monday, January 2024. This program starts now.
Football!
Is happening in this stadium this evening where a national champion will be crowned for the 2023 season. Will Michigan, the Wolverines up from Ann Arbor with Jim Harbaugh, who I got to speak to just yesterday.
Okay.
Bring home a natty, and then the future of Harbaugh will be immediately questioned right after the game ends. Or will this Washington program that has restored greatness for the entire city of Seattle in West Coast football, will they be able to win a natty in the second year of Kalen DeBoer's leadership for the Washington Huskies? Currently on ESPN Bet, the Huskies are 5.5-point dogs. You can get them at 4.5 at some other books. You can get them at 5 at some other books, but 5.5 on ESPN Bet. We're in for a great one. We'll be on the sideline, and obviously, I'm not the only dumbass that'll be here.
Nope.
I'm filled with a group of boys. Whoa.
Pause.
You got some sweet boys.
Sweet boys.
Sweet boys.
And we are incredibly lucky to be here. The playoff picture has been set in the NFL. There's potential firings. We'll have Adam Schefter alongside of us all day here from Houston for any of the breaking news. What's going on with Tomlin?
Ooh.
Whoa.
What's going on with Bill Belichick?
Slow down.
What?
Artie Smith's already been canned. Who's next? We shall see. See you later, Ron Rivera. Who's next? We shall see. There's a lot to chat about today, and I'm incredibly lucky to be here alongside a great group of boys. Ladies and gentlemen, 9-year NFL vet, host of Everything DB, the man-to-man podcast, Darius J. Butler.
Yes,
Everybody,
sir.
everybody much.
We are currently in the stadium of the NFC South Championship.
Congrats, Houston.
The Houston Texans.
Congrats, Texans. It's a good win.
Congrats to C.J. Stroud and D'Amico Ryans doing something that hasn't been done often in the NFL. Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, winning the division. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of questions about what the hell happened in Jacksonville. What the hell happened to them on the way end here? Seems like since Trevor Lawrence's injury and about 3/4 of the way through the season, they've kind of gone downhill. They're not the only team, though.
No.
Shout out to the Dolphins. Shout out to the Eagles.
Right.
Joining us
Still
now
in it.
is also a man who's a Super Bowl champion, a college football national champion, wearing a nice, red hoodie.
Yeah.
I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Baby Hogger.
Except for the Buckeyes, because Michigan's going to potentially take home an Natty this year.
No, I think I just kind of branching out, trying to wear some new things. Got some water on it. It's pretty rainy outside. We have some weird weather going on outside the stadium. Good thing we have we can close the roof here.
Supposed to be a potential tornado.
Yeah,
that's
great.
nice.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, there's tornado warnings in Houston, and then they're saying, storm from Houston to Indy to New York.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so it should be fun getting home tonight.
Yeah.
One half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here. 5.5-point spread. Currently on ESPN Bet. Can get it at other numbers as well. How are you feeling? How are you leaning? Where's the money at publicly? I assume Michigan. Is that what everybody
Publicly,
said?
it's on Michigan because it opened at 4.5. Some places have gone to 5, 5.5 now, 5.5 at ESPN Bet. So it's on Michigan. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. I'm not leaning either side because I'm not going to ever question or count out Penix and those wide receivers. And then just the whole team of Michigan. I think tonight it's either it's either going to be 48-41 and Washington wins, or we keep it in the 20s, low 30s, and I think Michigan comes home.
Okay, so you're thinking if this is a track meet,
Yeah, there's definitely a track
Doomsday
meet team
and
out
Michael
there today.
Penix and the boys got
Yeah.
it. But if Michigan can slow it down where Harbaugh wants it to be tough physical game, you think Michigan
Yeah.
has the edge. I think that's a good representation of Big Ten football there, isn't it, AJ?
Yeah, these are just two Big Ten football programs, right?
Bingo.
Is that what people
The
are
last
saying?
year of the
Playing with
Pac-12.
Washington earlier.
Slow down.
No, this is the last year of the Pac-12.
We're
Come
looking
on.
ahead. We're looking ahead, right?
A lot of Big Ten people are saying that. You're welcome. The
Yep.
Big contenders in the national championship.
Another title.
That's how the future looks like. And the Toxic Table is here. Well, not only a man who is a dog in real life, but a dog on his chest. Boston Connor, you look great, pal.
Hey, I appreciate that very much. Interesting to hear AJ Hawk talk about the future when he lives in the moment constantly at all times, no matter what. But here we are talking about Big Ten in the future. Can we just celebrate the Pac-12 one last time, please?
Pac-12's last year in existence. They have a national championship contender. That is good for the Pac-12. It's good for Washington. And I'll tell you what, who's not here? That's Iowa. But you know who is in the dance?
It's all right.
For the NFL?
Who's that?
The Green Bay Packers. In a transition year where we didn't know what to expect, where defense was more holy than Swiss cheese for a lot of it, they find a way in the end to get a massive win over the Bears. And now Jordan Love has led the Green Bay Packers back to the playoff in his first year as a starter. Ty Schmidt, I saw you go 6 to midnight. I know you can't stand up right now. You're rock hard. How about the Packers getting into the dance? They're not the only ones, obviously.
No, obviously not, but I am absolutely ecstatic. This is the best Monday I've had in I don't know how long. I said going into the game.
All right, we like that.
Unbelievable.
Come on, Monday to have a good Monday.
Yeah, great Monday. Vibes are immaculate. I said going into the game, hey, I was a little nervous. Bears were playing great football going into that game, and even if the Packers were to lose, hey, we found our guy of the future. They did it again. I mean, people can say, hey, they don't love it. Jordan Love is the guy. He is going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Biggest game of his career, he goes 27 to 32.
Is that good?
Pretty good.
Over 300 yards, a couple touchdowns.
Pretty
Probably
good.
should have had another one. And the defense showed up. Like I've worked my way from just being like, hey, we just want to get into the dance to, hey, now we punch the ticket, okay?
And you guys have what it takes to go.
The boys have what it takes. Jordan Love has what it takes. Joe Barry might even have what it takes.
Whoa.
He might even have what it takes. You beat the Cowboys, and then who knows? All bets are off. I'm in the best mood I've been in for a very, very long time.
Well, how could you not be down here in Houston, Texas at the national championship? ESPN has set us up pretty good here.
Oh, yeah.
They have.
Now, there were some comments about one particular person at ESPN.
Sure.
You know, that I made only on the YouTube ESPN Plus show. That wasn't even on linear TV.
What was that?
I didn't know anybody was going to hear it because it was just on digital.
And no one does digital.
I guess everybody did hear it. It was a topic of discussion, obviously, the entire weekend.
Sure.
And the only thing that I'm like super bummed out about it all is that a guy that we like a lot, a man that watched the game with us in the suite, Burke Magnus, who is currently new guy in charge at ESPN, right below Jimmy Pitaro. I guess he was kind of made to look bad because of what I did and how I did it. I would like to let everybody know we love Burke Magnus.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love Burke Magnus.
Love you, Burke.
And also love Jimmy Pitaro.
Yep.
Love Bob Iger.
What?
But there is quite a transition era here, you know, between the old and the new. New. And the old don't like what the new be do. You know what I mean? So there is certainly going to be a couple of that, but we're very thankful. A lot of people are saying I'm trying to get fired. No way.
Whoa.
What ESPN has been able to do for us, more specifically whenever they do things like this, you have no idea about the crew behind the scenes here that we've been working with basically all year. Not only on game day, but for our show whenever we're traveling, we got nothing but love for all of these people. Now, there's certainly people we do not like. Certainly.
Naturally.
And they do not like us. That's how it's going to be. And I don't take back anything that I said about said person. But the overall storyline about us and ESPN, I think people need to remember. We're strong, baby.
Bingo.
Hot and cold.
We are strong, baby.
Damn
And
right.
we all understand what the future looks like. There's just some old hags that potentially don't, but we will move forward to that. Speaking of the future, playoff picture is set for the NFL. Now, today is, they call it Black Friday. Feels a little racist. D-Butt, can I?
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay, they call it Black Friday because a lot of people are getting fired. Okay, staring at a camera with a black man operating it. I would like to let you know I didn't name it.
No.
Okay, I did not name it that. That is not me. That's other people. But there's people that are getting fired, have already been fired. Schefter will keep us up to date on everything. There's certainly storylines, but the playoff picture being set is the most positive and great one to find out. Now, whenever you look at this tournament, you got to remember, whoever wins in that first round, the lowest winning seed will then take on top seed in each conference. So the Baltimore Ravens might take on the number 7 seed Pittsburgh Steelers.
They better hope they don't.
Look out.
Now, granted, the Buffalo Bills are an absolute wagon. Congrats to Josh Allen.
Wow.
Okay, congrats to Josh Allen leading his team to 5 straight wins at the end of the year. Now, Kadarius Toney, if he's back about a half foot, we have no idea what happens. If that guy doesn't write a hit piece about McDermott's culture, who knows if the boys rally and they get to where they are now? Who cares? You're here now. You saw the video of Deion Dawkins and Josh Allen after they landed last night after beating Miami down in 305. And all the Bills Mafia showing up at the airport. In Southwest, putting all the bins in between team and the fans, so the fans couldn't even really see the players while they were walking in the middle of the snow in the middle of the night. But nonetheless, the Bills are where they're supposed to be.
That's right.
Buffalo.
Bills are where they're supposed to be. Number 2 seed, though, we could have never guessed that a few weeks back for the Buffalo Bills.
No, a lot of people wrote them off, but I mean, like you said, kudos to them rallying. I think their record overall against playoff teams all year long, 5-1.
Pretty good.
So they're pretty confident going into the dance.
As they should be. And Josh Allen throws some hilarious interceptions.
Awesome.
That second one he threw yesterday is maybe my favorite interception to ever happen from a good football player in the NFL.
Sure. Yes.
That is one of those throws where people thought I was trying to get fired. That's like a quarterback that's just like does not care at all. Rolling to his right. It is 4th and 2. The ball's on the 35. What do you want to do with it? I'll punt one. Well, if you punt one to the end zone, it comes out to the 20, obviously. It's only a 15-yard gain there in the whole thing. But this is things that were happening at the beginning of the game that makes everybody go, how come we don't judge Josh Allen the same way we judge everybody else? You know why? Because what Josh Allen's going to do on a 4th and 15 later in the game is what not a lot of people can do. He's like one of those basketball guys. Yeah, he's going to have a couple turnovers. Sure. Going to have a couple air balls. But in the 3rd and 4th quarter, he knows everything that he did. And he's going to try to make up for it. They live or die with that guy. They've done very well. Do they have what it takes, AJ, to win this thing? Do you think the way Josh Allen's playing right now? Because 2 of those costly turnovers early in the playoffs can get magnified. Now, granted, Miami Dolphins also a playoff team.
Oh, yeah.
It might be Joe Bover.
Andrew Van Jover.
Oh, no, Gumpy. It might be Andrew Van Gover. He got injured in that. We don't like that at all. A lot of injuries happening for the Miami Dolphins. But do you think the Buffalo Bills right now, the way they're playing, the way they're constructing, could go on a run from the number 2 seed?
Yeah, I do. I think because of Josh Allen, like you said, it's a risk reward. Sure, yeah, he may throw you a couple eventually. Hopefully not. May throw you one. I don't know what's going on if something just fell from the roof.
I did not
or whatever
get
happened.
that.
We're okay though, I believe. Right?
Holy hell!
For now.
You got jumped?
Yeah.
Jumped in the ears?
I think I just
tornado
popped
hit?
both of my eardrums.
Feedback.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a big.
Again?
Anyways,
Josh Allen.
he didn't do that.
Yeah, Josh Allen didn't hear that, but wouldn't you take Josh Allen? If he was your quarterback, I'm thinking, yeah, even if I'm on the defense for Buffalo, yeah, Josh may throw 1 or 2, but we know he's going to make up for it all the time. I think the reward always outweighs the risk when it comes to Josh Allen.
I think so too, but there's a lot of people that certainly get excited whenever Josh Allen has Josh Allen moments, and Darius Butler's one of them.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, you
I mean,
are.
he threw
hate
for
him.
360, and he ran for another 60 on the ground.
Yeah.
So like you said, you take the bad with the good. And that defense, speaking of that defense, though, potentially lost a big piece, banged up Rasul Douglas, who's had a great year since coming over from Green Bay to Buffalo. So that'll be a big thing to watch during this playoff run.
Let's go back to the playoff picture on the AFC side, because obviously the Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Congrats to the Steelers.
Hell yeah.
Two teams that were very different about 5-6 weeks ago. Let's go back to the playoff picture here. Kansas City, Miami Dolphins. I mean, who knows?
Seriously.
Legitimately, who knows?
No idea.
It could be Kansas City Chiefs season.
Could be.
And we saw yesterday Chris Jones get the sack for
that was
$1.5
sweet.
million. Congrats to him. And then he quickly after the game was like, listen, that's money I lost already from holding out. So everybody's talking about this being a big bonus. This is just me getting back. And I like the way Brett Veach, the Chiefs, and Chris Jones handled that at the beginning of the season. And it was a nice feel-good story towards the end. I don't know if anybody thinks the Chiefs are playing hot enough to go on a run, but it's playoffs.
Yeah.
It's Patrick Mahomes, it's Andy Reid, and Travis Kelce's awesome. So we just assume that they're going to figure it out whenever they get going. And this Dolphins team's heading the wrong direction, man.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, Chiefs at home, obviously. Mahomes in Arrowhead, it's going to be difficult. But you have Waddle last night. You have Mostert last night. Maybe that game's a little different. Maybe they score more than 14 points for the Finns, but banged up on defense. Wilkins, I mean, we went ballistic when he got one of those late sacks on Josh Allen on 3rd down, and maybe he's going for his $30 million in this playoff run.
Sack.
And he just goes
Strip
off.
sack, by the way. That
And
was
recovered
unbelievable.
Yep.
Recovered it himself.
And then
Oh, yeah, great. Super Scion.
I love Christian Wilkins. I'm a big fan of his. That was a freak play. As we're talking to you, we're not talking about playoff teams.
Yeah.
What's going on with Bill Belichick?
Look,
Yesterday was like a tribute game to Bill Belichick.
Yeah, and I would like to get through this without saying any F-bombs, so I'm going to do my best to think about what I'm actually going to say here. But, yeah, it was despicable. One thing about Bill Belichick, sure, going through the memories, it was fantastic. Just seeing everything that he's done as, you know, on his own with New England was sweet. I don't understand where it turned yesterday, because at some point someone either reported something or someone took something that was said weeks ago perhaps, and the conversation was, hey, this is it for Bill Belichick in New England. I don't think so. The reports recently have been, hey, nothing is going to be final until Bob Kraft and Bill sit down. That might not happen till Tuesday. Might not happen till Wednesday. Now it's being reported couple meetings as well between Bill and Bob.
Yeah, but Schefter had to get up for a phone call from a Kraft.
Yes, he did. And maybe that was Johnny Kraft saying, hey, Schefter, stop saying you feel like Bill and Bob are done, because because Schefter said that, everyone ran with it. Massive bummer. My guy, Jordo Schultz, who only reports real news, is saying that there is a massive chance, because Mike Vrabel is interested in returning to New England, we might be able to get the guy who will cut his dong off to win another Super Bowl. I do believe if it's not Bill, Vrabel will be nice. Still probably Gerard Mayo.
Joining us, you saw his head just cut off Boston Connor's face there as he was talking. And
Thank God.
That's a New England Patriot fan who's been riding this wave of the season. He was super pumped that the New York Jets got that win yesterday. Shout out to Mike Roman all year, by the way.
Mike, baby, Mike.
Setting things up. He was shaking the camera a little bit earlier, too. Mike Roman he can hit you. You know what I mean? You play Oklahoma drill, you got to do what you got to do. Joining us now is obviously an icon in the sports media world. A man that was just live on the field for 2 hours. He's getting jocked, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting jocked. We're right on here. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen A. Smith.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Great to see you, man. Appreciate you coming by.
Of course.
We're breaking down the playoff picture right now, and then we'll obviously like to pick your brain for everything else. There we go. So Texans, Browns, last one on the AFC side. This Texans team ends up winning the AFC South.
Yep.
C.J. Stroud, I think we're going to be talking to him tonight during the field pass.
Hell yeah.
He can go to hell. Okay? Houston Texans could go to hell completely. And on the NFC side now, it's perfect timing. Okay?
Oh,
perfect timing. Because Steven.
Where are you going, man?
Well, I don't know if you saw it yesterday.
What you doing, Pat?
Dak was slicing and dicing.
Why?
And CeeDee's number one in the league at like everything that matters from a wide receiver standpoint. Who's throwing him the ball?
Well, first of all,
who's throwing him the ball?
That'd be Dak Prescott.
Oh, Dak Prescott. Okay.
MVP candidate.
Oh, yeah, it is. Dak Prescott.
Cowboys quarterback.
Yeah, Dallas Cowboys quarterback.
I have no idea what y'all talking about. As far as I'm concerned, they had a bye week. It was the Commanders. I mean, the Commodores. I mean, the Commanders. Whatever the hell they are.
They have no GM or coach.
Listen, we knew that was coming. I told you that weeks ago when Magic Johnson's second year arrived. The first week on the job, he was talking about that team. So you knew. And then I ran into Josh Harris, the owner, who also owns the Philadelphia 76ers. I ran into him at a Sixers game when they were going up against the Boston Celtics. I knew this was coming. It was inevitable.
Stop deflecting.
I'm not deflecting.
Yeah, you are. You're talking about the Commanders. We all know the Commanders. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
P-Mac. I went on national television, my brother, just a few hours ago. And I said, this is the closest, the best shot the Dallas Cowboys have of getting to the Super Bowl since 1995.
Here we go.
I am a fair-minded individual, okay? I am fair-minded. Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC right now, as far as I'm concerned. CeeDee Lamb is the best wide receiver. They're the best tandem. Obviously, their defense is real. Losing Diggs, and this guy, Deron Bland, coming out and playing the way he had another interception yesterday. Dallas is legit. I get it. Now, are they better than San Francisco? Are you ready to say that?
That's multiple weeks away, though.
I understand that multiple weeks away. So you got me, because the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have to deal with this.
Oh, no, you know what you're going to do. You're going to go, just wait.
That's right. I'm going to be just wait. But I still got to suck it up and deal with the noise that I'm going to hear for the next 2 weeks when the Dallas Cowboys win and get to the NFC Championship game. But they're going down at that time.
How much do you think?
They ain't getting to Vegas.
How much do you think about Big Mike McCarthy and him being in his bag? Because remember, beginning of the season, he had not called plays in how long? Since before he was retired.
Right.
Yeah.
When was that?
5, 6, 7 years at least.
Maybe longer than that.
I'm not sold. If
you're not sold on Big Mike McCarthy?
Not yet. Here's the deal.
He's smashing warmongers. He's giving motivational speeches.
First of all, he lied. He lied. He wanted Kellen Moore out so he could call plays. He talked about how the offense needed more balance and still threw the football more than he ran the football. Okay,
he wants
that's
to
number
run the scoreboard.
That's number one. All right, so he lied to get Kellen Moore out of there so he could take control of play calling. No problem. It worked for him. Mad props to him. But in the end, here's where it comes down to. Most of the teams you've gone against were cellar dwellers. Now, the big-time teams that you needed to face up against, you lost to them, okay? With the exception of the Philadelphia Eagles, who we've now learned don't look big-time this year.
Nice.
And so when I look at it from that perspective, the level of competition that you're going up against is still a question mark. However, and by the way, I still believe they lost to the Detroit Lions. I don't give a damn what nobody say. They got robbed, okay? Lions got robbed. But in the end, they are where they are. They're the number 2 seed. They are a different team at home than they are on the road, which you must concede. And as a result, I'll give them the edge until the NFC Championship game.
Okay, you just mentioned a team that are Philadelphia Eagles. What the hell you think's going on?
I don't know what the hell.
You know what it is?
Them, man. What's
Dom DeSandro.
That's right.
Dom DeSandro gets hit in the mouth by Greenlaw, I believe. He gets escorted off, never allowed back on the sideline. They've looked like a completely different team. Now,
Well, no, actually, they were getting their ass kicked that day that Green lost.
Yeah, but Dahn at halftime would have gave him a little high. Yeah.
You
You know
think
what I mean?
so? You think so?
Yeah, he would have gave him a little.
Somehow, some way. I don't know what the hell is going on. They lost both coordinators, obviously.
Well, they're on the
I knew
third
they
one.
were doomed when they had Matt Patricia to help them out with the defense. I knew they were doomed at that particular moment in time. That's right, I said it. I didn't stutter. The point is this. The Philadelphia Eagles have appeared to be a shell of themselves. They lost Gardner Johnson and others in the offseason. They've had some injuries. They don't seem to be who we expected them to be. Jalen Hurts hasn't been healthy all season. He's been playing.
Broke his finger yesterday.
Right, and then he hurt his finger yesterday. And even before, against the Jets, obviously at the leg injury, he's been compromised. When he's an elite dual threat, meaning running with the football primarily, it really opens up the passing game for them. When you know you don't have to worry about that with him so much, it's made things tougher for A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. They got Dallas Goedert. He got hurt. I was at the Dallas Cowboys game when he got hurt that game, and he was out for a few weeks. They don't seem to have any kind of rhyme or rhythm to what they're doing. They seem to be a shell of themselves, and I don't expect much from them. I don't want to pick them to lose to Tampa, but it wouldn't surprise me.
D-Butt's got a question for you.
Let's go to the AFC side now. Obviously, we probably all love the Ravens up there at the top, but we got the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. They kind of haven't been the same this year. Then the Miami Dolphins kind of been going the wrong direction going into the playoffs. Who do you got more faith in that matchup on the AFC side?
Well, first of all, I have very little faith in the Kansas City Chiefs because I don't think the receivers are going to catch the football.
What are you talking about?
No matter what
what's going on?
I said the receivers are not going to catch the damn football. Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal. He's great.
Thank you.
There's one thing he cannot do. He can't catch the damn pass.
Oh, you sound like Giselle.
Yeah. He cannot do that.
That was Giselle.
I don't like that. And by the way, that's one of the great, this supermodel, you saw that woman in the games in Brazil walking down that runway. It's just spectacular. It's just spectacular. Okay, so let's hold on to that one. But here's the deal. We don't know what's going to happen with Kansas City because we don't know if their receivers are going to catch the football, okay? Miami, anytime they get away from South Beach, something happens to them. Clearly, road games are like their kryptonite. Coming to Miami usually is everybody else's kryptonite.
Nah, but not Josh Allen.
Not Josh Allen and Buffalo. He's an aberration, okay? Because I've seen people go to Miami and you get there the night before games, and that is this
second floor. Tootsie's getting shoulder.
An elite distraction. I'll just leave it at that, okay? So it comes down to this for me, believe it or not. I think the one thing that can derail the Ravens, that has a shot at derailing the Ravens, is Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns.
Defense is phenomenal.
That defense is phenomenal. And Joe Flacco, you're talking about 40 qualified quarterbacks, man. This dude is leading everybody with 323 yards average passing. This is spectacular stuff that we're seeing from him.
Okay.
And so when I'm looking at it from that perspective, I'm saying they can run the football. They can pass it. The number one option in Amari Cooper and Njoku. Let's not forget about him. Flacco slinging football, turnover prone, but nevertheless can make things happen. And he's very familiar with what John Harbaugh wants to do because that's his former coach that he won a Super Bowl with in 2013. I look at all of those things and I say we can't sleep on Cleveland. We certainly can't sleep on Buffalo. I'm sleeping on Kansas City because their receivers can't catch. Okay, and I'm not.
How about this team?
Anybody else? Well, the Houston Texans. I love Stroud, but a rookie is not going to derail the Baltimore Ravens on the road in Baltimore if it came down to that. I cannot see that happening. All right.
Yeah, to hell with the Texans, too.
Stroud
they cheated. They made that guy drop that pass.
Right.
The refs won't talk about it. They put stuff on the ball.
Right, so you're emotional because it was Indy.
It was right in our face. We're supposed to host a playoff game, bro.
Oh, right.
We're supposed. Goodson catches that ball. Gardner. Come on.
Right.
Yeah,
a little bit better ball.
A little bit.
But Goodson needs to catch that as well.
I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look at it. I get where you're coming from, but
touched his hands.
The bottom line is it touched his hands and he dropped it.
The dude wasn't on the field the entire game. I actually see him jog on the field from where we're sitting. I go, oh, Goodson's in, I think. Goodson's in.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, Goodson's the focal point of the biggest player of the season. I had no idea that was
You cannot drop that pass.
Well, so there's a lot of people saying, too, like Jonathan Taylor rushed for 188 yards. Why not just give him the ball? Fair. Very fair. People are like, why'd you take Jonathan Taylor out, put Goodson in? Well, if Jonathan Taylor's running back in that play, I'm assuming there's going to be at least 4 eyes on him.
Yeah.
Goodson comes in, the defense is like, haven't seen that guy all day.
That's right.
It's going to be somewhere else.
Walking.
He's wide open. Need to complete that pass. And Goodson was very emotional afterwards. But nonetheless, we saw C.J. Stroud.
It's a stud.
Bro.
Unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
He was third and, I forget what it was.
14.
Third and 14. He's standing like this, standard quarter. They have his legs wrapped. He's falling. He does one of these. And it was just like a 22-yard ball right on the spot.
They asked the question on First Take, what quarterbacks would I take ahead of C.J. Stroud right now?
Oh, short list.
Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
I like that. Sounds
Maybe Allen because of what we've seen him do in the postseason in the past. That's it. Can you legitimately say You can look at any quarterback, anywhere else in the league, and definitively say you would take them over C.J. Stroud.
So that was that was my second time getting to watch him. Saw him Ohio State, Georgia from the sideline. Then we got to watch this game from this ball.
That's the one. Yeah.
So stupid. Fade away. Oh, my guy's nowhere near that. Well, how do I give him enough time? Let me throw this thing up. Oh, what a doofus people are thinking as he's throwing that. That's going to be picked. No. Only his guy could get the ball.
Fuck yeah.
His football IQ, even though he failed that one test going into the draft. You remember this?
Go ahead.
Did you talk about the?
I did not.
So he took some brain test going into the draft that was just dropped out of nowhere. They're supposed to find out if a guy's got a good brain or not.
That's right.
It's going to be the S2 test.
Couldn't process.
Somehow it got leaked. Yeah, guy's memory's terrible. The guy's stupid as
Guy's
fuck.
a dumb.
This guy's got no clue. You thought previous quarterbacks were dumb and couldn't read defenses? Nothing like what this guy's going to be. And then he gets in there. His interception percentage is the lowest in like the history of the NFL for a rookie.
Are there any tests for how dumb some of these executives are?
Oh, you tell me. You tell me.
You tell me. I mean, think about it. And listen, you look at the Texans. I mean, you lucked up with DeMeco Ryans, but look at what they did with the previous two coaches. They bounced them out after 1 year, but they still get another opportunity. Kime in Arizona, how many opportunities did he get before they bounced him out with some of the decisions he made?
What are you talking about?
Somehow, some way, we have to gauge the intelligence of football players, but executives who don't play, and their job is to use their brain to make decisions. There's no brain test for them.
Well, there allegedly is a bunch of them. They're happening right now. A lot of the dumb executives are going to get hired over the next few days. Can't wait to see which ones are right and which ones are wrong going forward. Colts got it right with Shane Steichen. We're very thankful for that. DeMeco obviously doing it right here with CJ. I think they believe too with the way that defense has been playing. AJ's got a question for you, Steve.
Stephen A., I got to get back to the Cowboys. So Packers playing the Cowboys week 1. You already said the Cowboys. You'll give them till the NFC Championship. So you're saying Packers don't have a chance to go in there and
I think they got a chance. I just think it's slim to none because of their defense. I love what I'm seeing from Jordan Love. He's been very impressive. I'm being objective here. Got to give Matt LaFleur credit, which is something I haven't been prone to do. I thought he was living off the resume of Aaron Rodgers for far too long, but nevertheless, he showed up this year. And Jordan Love, you've seen how he's developed. He's some peaks and valleys, but ultimately to throw 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, you can't say enough about what you're seeing from Jordan Love. And offensively, they've got some young wide receivers in Watson and Romeo Doubs and Reed and others that I think are going to be exceptional. So offensively, you got to look at them. But defensively, they're just not that impressive. And when you take that into account and you look at Dak Prescott and the way that he's flowing, along with the combination of him to CeeDee Lamb.
And Mike McCarthy in his bag.
Well, you can say Mike McCarthy. We'll see. Okay, that's fine. But him and CeeDee Lamb, there is no question that I just don't think that – I think that's asking a lot for Green Bay to go on the road and do something in Dallas. I just do.
Yeah, in Dallas is like historic.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that, you think? Just because Jerry's got that place buzzing?
Well, they do have it buzzing. There's no doubt about it. It's the billion-dollar playpen. That's what I call it. It's Jerry World. I mean, it is a special place. I cannot deny it, okay? And Dallas
They had go-go dancers in boxes hanging over the stadium.
Listen.
Unreal.
Whenever we played there.
Dallas, in terms of entertainment, and by entertainment, I'm specifically talking about the cheerleaders, the dance team.
What?
Dallas has been
you went
the
to Brazil
Super Bowl
earlier.
champions forever.
Yeah.
Forever in that category. It all starts with them.
That's right.
Jerry, from the beginning, has been trying to win that game.
That's right.
That has been what he's been trying to do. And
hell, Tom Landry was trying to win it.
Yeah. Well, listen, if the
Tex Ram and was trying to win it.
Could you imagine if the Dallas Cowboys go on a run in 2024? Man, that'd be great. I can't wait. Everybody would just be like this. Well, what's Stephen A. going to hate on?
I may not have something to hate on, but I'll be sick to my stomach. It's the one time in my career they'll put out an APB for me. I'll be hiding from Cowboy fans everywhere because I can't stand them damn Cowboy fans. They make me sick. They drive me crazy.
How do you feel about Patriots fans are going through it? Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, we are going through it. And Stephen A., real quick, you said something on the Stephen A. Smith show.
Great show.
Unbelievable show. Some of the best clips on the internet. What you said about Red Bull vodkas, though, I think you need to reel back. Red Bull vodkas is a great drink.
What you say? What you say?
He says
they asked me, it was a question. They asked me about vodka Red Bull.
Yeah.
That's the question?
Yeah, that's for Caucasian James.
Yeah, the whites drink it a lot.
Yes.
I'm sorry, brothers. My brothers from other mothers. Do I look white? That is not me.
Have a white friend one time, Stephen A.
A whole bunch of you. You're one of them. But the point that I'm trying to make to you, I don't knock y'all flavor. Don't knock mine.
Well, who
You understand what I'm
did?
saying?
Who did?
Remy, Cavassier,
Okay,
Hennessy
there we
is
go.
my
Right,
thing.
right.
As opposed to vodka. And to me, when you hear the word Red Bull, there's a different thought that comes to your mind.
What was that hypnotic
It-
Hennessy
like
mixture?
colors.
It's almost like the
That was
Incredible
yeah,
Hulk.
That's right.
Hennessy and Hypnotic, yeah.
When people talk about Red Bull, I say they need assistance.
Okay.
I understand, but that's not what I need.
All right. Anyways, Red Bull vodkas are a heart attack waiting to happen too. But good night.
Fantastic night.
Good night.
yeah.
You should think about it sometime.
Yeah,
I might. Well, then you never know.
Could you imagine Stephen A. just Red Bull and vodka?
Two of them, yeah, be unbelievable.
Very good.
But aside
Exactly.
from that, a lot of talk around New England about Bill Belichick, basically gone. All of a sudden, out of nowhere yesterday, hey, it's over. Belichick's definitely leaving.
He should be gone.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think about where he would go? And do you
Chargers.
think-
I think that. Listen, I think the Chargers going to go after Harbaugh. I think that if you're Bill Belichick, there's listen, he's a 6-time champion. He's better than first of all, he's the greatest. But in this day and age, despite the kind of season that they've had, I think he's better than 90% of the coaches in the league. The problem is he's had complete autonomy in New England. And believe it or not, that's what's come back to haunt him. And this is what I've been saying for weeks. He is the man that forced out Tom Brady. You can't get past that. He wanted Tom Brady gone.
Well,
Jimmy Garoppolo era. He wanted to expedite that process. It didn't happen. Kraft and Brady's relationship stayed intact. You win a Super Bowl, and then after that, you come back, and then you lose in the playoffs. You throw a pick 6 to end the game for crying out loud.
Titans and everything.
You're out after that. I was told at that particular moment in time, I went on First Take, and I said, just trust me on this. It's a very reliable source. If Bill Belichick had said, I want Tom Brady to stay, Tom Brady would have stayed.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it. And so now if you're Foxborough, if you're Massachusetts, you're looking at that guy, as great of a champion as he is as a coach. You're the guy that pushed the golden boy out the door before it was time. And that is what they will never get over. And that is why, because they've been losing, and that's the backdrop.
That's a Patriot fan you're talking to. He's disgusted over
Yeah,
there.
I mean, people forget Bill Belichick offered him 2 years, $56 million. Not enough guaranteed money, but that is also true. And drafting N'Keal Harry over Deebo Samuel, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, definitely else. But
the only All-Pro that Bill Belichick has drafted since 2012 or 2013 was a punter and a kicker.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Joe Tooney.
Hey, Steven, watch your mouth. I'm talking shit right now to the AFC South champion quarterback that just walked in here.
no.
And now you're saying punter and kicker. What?
Excuse me, I didn't say anything about that brother. That brother's something special. We were talking about the New England Patriots and the damn roster they got.
yeah, well, they're going to be the Texans next year, Stephen A. Look out, because we're going to get a rookie quarterback, and it's
Fine.
going to be nothing
It just won't
but
be with Bill
nails.
Belichick as your coach.
Now, he might be back, though. We don't know.
I hope.
I think he should go elsewhere. I'm not saying he should be fired. It's shake his hand, revere
What if
this
he's not the
man,
GM anymore?
celebrate him.
What if he gives up the GM?
How's that happen, though?
How do you do
Yeah,
that?
I don't know.
So Pat McAfee,
Yeah.
you the man. You the man. You the boss.
Yeah.
Now, tomorrow, well, you know what? We want you to relinquish all of this power to
that's kinda
somebody else.
happening.
Yeah, I was
really?
gonna say, that
Really?
conversation
That's
is-
not going to happen.
How'd
That's
you
not
know
going to
that,
happen.
Stephen A?
That's not going to happen.
That was happening in the ESPN?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What the hell?
Stephen A, baby. That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen.
Hey, last question, and we appreciate the hell out of you from Ty.
Yeah, Stephen A., what about your Pittsburgh Steelers? You know, all season, everyone's bitching about Tomlin.
Yep.
Hey, we got a clean house.
Yep.
His message has grown,
Yep.
went stale. And then Mason Rudolph comes in, who the fan base pretty much just casted aside.
Including me, yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
and which, not crazy to do.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're in the playoffs. Do they have any chance of beating Buffalo? And then regardless of that game,
They have a chance, but they're not going far. And the reality is it's fool's gold because you still don't have a quarterback. Kenny Pickett isn't the answer. Mason Rudolph isn't the answer. Don't get me started in that damn Mitchell Trubisky. He shouldn't even be on a roster, okay? So I'm looking at it from that side. He just shouldn't.
All
He just shouldn't.
Steelers fans
He's
feel
had
that
enough.
way.
He's had enough opportunities. I'm done with him, okay? In the end, it's been a miraculous job that Mike Tomlin has done, but learned throughout my years covering the NBA, every executive I've ever known, including some of the great ones like the great Jerry West and others, have always said this to me. The middle of the road is the worst place you can be. You're either on top or you want to be at the bottom where it is clear a reclamation project needs to be in tow and you got to do what you got to do. To be the middle of the road where, all right, we know we ain't going no damn place, but at least we made it to the playoffs. Well, if that satisfies y'all, that's fine. I remember a Steelers franchise that had 6 Super Bowl championships that was about rings, okay? Not about get to the damn postseason where we know you ain't going to do a damn thing. That does not suffice for me. So I'm not excited. Mike Tomlin is great. I hope he doesn't go anywhere, but they definitely need a damn quarterback, period.
The standard was the standard.
Yeah.
Was the standard. Was.
Bill Cowher said that he thinks Tomlin can rebuild it.
Yep.
But they do think a rebuild is needed, whether it's with or without Tomlin.
I agree with that.
Then Jay Glazer comes out.
Yeah.
Who's very tight with Tomlin. We know Jay Glazer came on our show, I think hungover from hanging out with Tomlin the night before. So they're like close.
Right.
And he said yesterday, like, he's thinking about stepping away, maybe, taking some time off.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe that if Mike Tomlin were to leave Pittsburgh, it's obvious that he's got his sight set on someplace else. He either stays or he goes. He doesn't strike me. The man ain't 60 or 70
You think he's going to golf? You don't think he's going to
I don't think he's trying to take a year off unless they forced him to and then obviously you sit out for a year, then you come back. Mike Tomlin's going to be around coaching for a long time.
Before we let you go, we got to remind people, Andy Reid was coach of the Eagles for a long time.
Yeah.
And then he left. And it was like kind of the last 5 years there of him at the Eagles was kind of similar to what's happening in some other places. Yep. He's had massive success at Kansas City. You think Bill will have massive success somewhere else? And do you think Tomlin, if he was to leave,
I think as long as Bill Belichick is not picking the roster, he will have massive success somewhere else. If he still has that level of control that he enjoyed in New England, I think what we've seen from him, we will continue to see from him, which is a subpar product.
You know what we've seen from you? Greatness for 40 years, and you look like you're 35.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate the hell out of you, man.
Same here, baby.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen A. Smith. Thank you, dude. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Hey. You broke his heart kind of with the whole.
Yeah, broke my heart.
Yeah.
Try a Red Bull vodka. Try
Red Bull vodka.
Try a Red Bull vodka.
Not too many, though.
I'll try it just for y'all.
Okay.
If it messes with me.
Oh, it's going to. Yeah, that's what it does. It takes you.
In a good way.
I'll be talking about Pat McAfee and the crew. I'll be like this. How could y'all do this to me?
What?
I'm just saying, what's it going to do to me?
That's not going to trip you out. It's not going to
get a picture of it. Get a couple pictures of it. That's usually what they did.
The best night of your life. 0 to 100, though.
Yeah.
Whoa, CJ.
Jeez.
Whoa.
Look at this guy.
CJ.
Broke our damn hearts.
What up, baby? Ruined the lighthouse.
Yeah, happy to see you.
Completely
man.
ruined.
Everybody's happy to see you.
Ruined the lighthouse.
I picked him to win. I'm all right. CJ. Hey, first off, congratulations on winning the AFC South as a rookie quarterback.
It's a big deal. First time ever with a rookie.
You okay?
That's a big deal, CJ. You guys will be hosting a playoff game in this stadium right here. Could have been in Indianapolis. Turns out that game became an AFC South championship game, and we watched you. Dude, you're absurd, bro.
Thank you.
For how young you are, you seem like a 10-year vet when you're out there. Like when we're watching you with your teammates too, the way you interact with your team and your coaches between plays, after plays, the way you celebrate and talk to everybody. Why is it just so easy for you? And what do you think this team has that has made it such a special run this year?
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I really feel like I was kind of groomed into this, going to Ohio State, winning a lot of big games, losing a lot of big games, having to be the leader on the team. When everything hits the fan, everybody's looking at you. And at that point, it was like 108,000 in our stadium. But now it's a little less, but it's still a lot of pressure. But like I said before, I think pressure is a privilege. And I think God put a special spirit in my heart to be able to calm the storm and rally guys around. And I also have a great teammates to do it with me, So it's been a blessing this year, working with a great group of guys. And we've shocked the world, and we just want to keep going. We want to keep proving ourselves right.
Does it feel like a college locker room? Does it feel like, because, sometimes, I came into a very old locker room.
Right.
I was like one of the youngest guys, one of the only single guys in there. For you guys, it feels like everybody's we're building the same thing. Is that an accurate depiction of how it is actually?
Yeah, 100%. Like, we're all really close. We all hang out pretty much. Of course, the younger guys, like Mitch and Tank, are probably two of my best friends on the team. And we all have a group text where we text each other funny things and all type of stuff. So it's been a really tight-knit group, and I think that's like the best teams I've been on has been the tightest teams, like the closest teams.
Absolutely, because you're playing for each other.
Exactly.
And it's very obvious whenever you're watching, which was on Saturday night. Before the boys have their questions for you, CJ, and we appreciate you making time for us today, you made this one play.
God.
You're fading away, okay? throwaway. Oh, it must have slipped out of his hand.
Bummer.
Not getting out of bounds. Colts pick. This is going to be awesome.
Here we go.
Pick 6 coming right towards us.
Yep.
Right back towards where we were. But instead, it was a catch. And I think you did it on purpose. Foxy, can you pull this play up? The fadeaway throw to the right. Yeah, this one, right? This one. Look. Oh, he's going to throw it away. Oh, he's too tired. He must have slipped. No, only your guy there. Jeez. How the hell did you know he was there? And when it left your hand, did you know that was going to be a catch? Because when you stood up, you acted so casual. And I was so mad about that. Like, there was so much that happened there. I was like, this guy's in the AFC South. He's a rookie. It's absurd. But that play in particular, what was going through your mind? How did you know that was going to happen?
Yeah, well, they were in man-to-man coverage, and they rolled the safety down. So he took away my first option. I went to my second option, and they were in man, so he did a good job of having sticky coverage. So at that point, I'm trying to find my check down. And checkdowns aren't always great in man-to-man coverage because they're matching. So I knew there was time to scramble. So I tried to step up and scramble, and I think somebody got loose. So I spent left. Spent left. Tried to find a way out. And DeForest Buckner, he's a heck of a player. A lot of respect for that guy. He's a unit. He's like 6'10", 350. He's moving fast as heck. So I got up out of there, and I kind of seen Nico take off. And I was like, I don't have much, but I'm going to just try to give him a shot. And with that guy, man, you give him a shot, he's going to go make a play.
Yeah, he made a lot of them against us the other night, as did you. Darius has a question for you.
Yeah, we saw you last year on the college football playoff scene, obviously playing against Georgia. Tough fought game. Long season in the NFL. You know, at some point you hit that rookie wall. I know you missed a couple games late with the concussion, but how does the body and the mind feel going into this playoff? Hopefully another playoff run for you in the NFL. How does it feel right now?
Man, it feels amazing. Like you said, it was tough missing those 2 weeks on concussion protocol and things like that. I really appreciate people reaching out to me, make sure I was fine. And I think ultimately it was all meant for the better of me, you know. And came back out against Tennessee, had a good game here at home, and then went on the road and got a hard-fought win against a great coach team. So this year has been a lot of ups and downs. It's been the longest year of my life, from going all the way from August of 2022 to, mid-January now. You know, it's been a long year, man, but it's been a dream come true. I'm living out my dream as a child. I used to always just dream about playing in NFL games, big-time night games, and that was my first one. So it was just really cool to kind of see the fruits of my labor, be able to come out in a big atmosphere against a great team. So it's been a great year, man. I've been blessed.
In the middle of that run, you took a test, the S2 test, and they say you were just dumb. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
This guy's dumb.
Yep.
Can't do it. I assume that test is never going to be used again because all you've done is just come in with a football IQ level that nobody historically has, by the way. You have historic records for being the smartest rookie quarterback to ever play.
Oh, yeah, by a lot,
and then there's that thing said he wasn't.
No.
So I think it's just dead, right?
Yeah. No.
Good run.
You think these decision makers are going to make that decision and say, oh, it's bullshit. Let me move to something else.
Well, I think they have to.
The strategy now is, take whoever is the dumbest quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what you do now. That's what I want.
I always say the eye in the sky don't lie. So you watch the film, you put on the tape, even from college, you can't play at Ohio State and under Coach Day, who's a world-renowned offensive coordinator, play caller. His offense is pretty deep when it comes to being knowledgeable. You have to know everything. I even have more responsibilities in college than I do now in this offense, in this scheme. So,
yeah, but that means you're only going to get better, which sucks for us. Because they haven't even unleashed you completely, which is a whole different animal. CJ, it's been awesome to watch you. Speaking of Ohio State, AJ has a question for you.
Yeah, well, have you thought about what it's going to be like having a playoff game in here? I saw you after the game in the Loud House, as Pat calls it, in Indianapolis.
Well, they're calling it the Stroud House now. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think it is.
You ruined it.
Was it loud in there?
No, it was loud. That was a great atmosphere. Even pregame.
There you go.
Yeah, pregame.
Were you rattled at all? Were you intimidated?
False start, 7 of them.
Yeah.
7 of them.
We didn't have 7 false
I
starts.
think it was 10. I think it was 10 false starts.
Maybe.
1, 2.
No. You did have a lot. Yeah.
We had a lot?
Yeah, I was celebrating heavy because it was kind of like
we came back and got a lot of first downs after that.
All right. Okay. We get more yards. That's all we got. Yeah.
I'm excited to see this place packed, man.
It's going to be loud.
It's going to be loud, really loud. I know you said that this is probably the loudest stadium you played in.
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think even just to piggyback off what you said, playing in Indianapolis, that was probably the loudest stadium I played in NFL.
Wow.
That was like a college atmosphere.
How about that?
That's a lot.
I love that time. I
stadium.
like being the villain, like run out to the booze, and you guys had the light show going on, a lot of cute stuff.
They made you What was that?
A lot of cute stuff.
It was. Clever, you meant. Yeah, smart, sophisticated, winning franchise.
Right,
yeah, you're talking. They did have you guys staying out there for a long time during that light show.
Right.
That was a long time.
Y'all do it on purpose. It's okay.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
all right.
strategy. Of course,
that's
it's all
my
part of
house.
it.
Right. Didn't
Ty
work.
has a question for you. All right. Hey, listen. Congrats, AFC South champ,
Yep.
CJ Stroud as a rookie. Go ahead, Ty.
CJ, you mentioned, you guys shocking the world. Like, after you got drafted, everyone was basically saying, like, hey, this 3-4 years, like, they're going to be unbelievable. But no one, at least in the media, expected you guys to do what you've done this year. Did you use that as, like, a chip on your shoulder at all during the year? I mean, obviously, you don't care about what the media is saying and all that kind of stuff. But, like, it's got to feel pretty good at this point, proving everyone wrong like that. And you guys are, I mean, you're unbelievable. And you don't have to wait 3-4 years. The time's now, obviously.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I feel like any motivation is good motivation, So I think it'll be a lie. People say they don't listen to the media or, like, of course, like, we don't necessarily care. But everybody hears it. Like, the day and age where we live in, social media, you have access to, like, everything, TV, your phone, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. I personally try to log out to everything, but people text me stuff and things. So you hear about it, and you're like, man, like, I wonder why they think like that. Let me go prove them wrong. But our mindset here, let's prove ourselves right. We knew what we had in this locker room, and we brought in a lot of vets that have been winning in other places and things like that. So we knew that we would have opportunities to play in big-time games, and we actually won a lot of tight-knit games too. So those were the times where I leaned on my vets, and I was like, man, what do y'all think? Like, what do you think about this year? What can we do? They're like, man, we have a Super Bowl team. Like, we have a team that can shock everybody. And
you
so
don't know.
do that, yeah.
You have no idea.
Exactly, because you don't really know what it takes. Because it's my first year, So
that whole you don't know what you don't know thing.
I mean, that's real.
Good.
But,
Yeah, it certainly
but I
is.
think the statement of winners win and losers lose. I think that's real. And in my career, I won a lot of games, and my teammates have as well. I just think we needed winners in the building. So once we got that going and started getting a rhythm for each other, it took a while, but football is not an overnight thing. It takes a minute. So once we got our rhythm, we started looking good, and now we're here.
Yeah, it took forever.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
4 weeks.
It took a real long time. And I think the good thing that you guys did, CJ, especially with how you played and who you are as a human and how you've handled this. You wanted to be like Houston, like, hey, I love Houston. Like, there's even a video going around the internet. I don't know if it was after you drafted, but you, like, put over Houston versus, like, Indianapolis, which is odd. A lot of people are like, he's talking shit on Indianapolis. It's like, no, Houston's an awesome
city.
Houston is an awesome place. I think you've handled it perfectly. And I think a playoff appearance, especially with the buzz, you're going to wake up this crowd too. Like we saw a lot of these chairs. We were talking shit to JJ early because I think they felt kind of betrayed by the Texans organization, how things have gone. Like, you tell us to buy into something, then you fire that person. Then you tell us to buy into something, then you fire that something. Then everything that happened, it's like I feel like the messages that I've gotten from Texans fans is that they, like, felt betrayed by the Texans for a couple of years. And now with the moves that have been made, it feels like everybody's, okay, we're back to being the Houston Texans again. That's an incredible honor, I think. And for a rookie to be the one kind of leading the way is stupid. It doesn't work like that a lot. You should take a lot of pride in, like, bringing a city. Peyton did that for the Colts.
Yeah.
He is a statue, obviously. But, like, Indianapolis was not a football town before Peyton got there because the team had been not great and decisions have been terrible. Then Peyton gets there and the whole state, the whole place is now a football town. It's like, you're going to do that again here. And I hate that.
Yeah, tough.
And I absolutely hate that. Connor has a question for you, CJ.
Yeah, CJ, Ty just mentioned you don't listen to what the media says, and I assume the team doesn't, but just so you do know, right now, the biggest threat to the Ravens is Joe Flacco and the Browns. So just so you know.
Stephen A. said you guys have no chance.
No chance. No, I'm not a Browns fan, but I'm just telling you.
We have no chance?
Yeah, right, Stephen A. said a rookie quarterback
there's no way.
is not going to do anything in the playoffs.
That's not happening.
All right.
And the Ravens don't want to see. They don't want to see Joe Flacco. They don't.
Right.
If CJ Stroud comes to town, who gives a shit? But if Joe Flacco comes to town, look out. So just so you know, that is what they're saying. But
Connor just put a $10,000 bet on the Houston Texans.
Bingo. You're damn right I did. But there's a moment after the game, it was unbelievable, where D'Amico Ryans is waiting in the hallway to the locker room, and he's emotional, but he waits for you. And then when you lead in, you two like jump together essentially into the locker room. It was unbelievable. How great is it to have a rookie head coach with you alongside you? I mean, you can probably lock him in for Coach of the Year now.
Right.
And what do you think about the people who say, hey, if you're going to hire a head coach, don't hire a defensive guy. You should hire an offensive guy because that's the one who's going to be running your offense forever, whereas D'Amico has been that, like, defensive, kind of almost an old school Tomlin Belichick type of coach. What do you think about those type of things being said and just how far you and D'Amico have come since, training camp?
Yeah, I said it before, but I think D'Amico was a perfect person for this job. He was the one, when I met him, he was like, this is the only job he wanted, to be a head coach, because he played for the Texans. He wanted to uplift the city of Houston. So I would say, man, like, if you're looking for a head coach, you want to look for somebody who cares about the city, cares about winning, cares about his players, has been in the position before that he's done that before, So when I look at D'Amico, like, of course, like, yeah, we're figuring out a lot of stuff together, but man, like, the poise that he has, the trust that he puts in his players, the accountability that he holds us to, the standard that he sets, every day you see him put constant work in, so it's nothing to do but just follow that, and to be a great leader, you have to be a great follower as well. So that's all I do with him, man. I listen to him a lot. He's a man of God. He definitely cares about his players. He always asks us what we want instead of just putting things out there. He puts a multitude of things on the table, from just team issues or like even locker room stuff. Like we need a new shower heads. He got us new shower heads, So like just little stuff. And some head coaches might not
That's
care
good
about
baby
that.
face move.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So like that even like it's a small thing that makes your players want to play for you a little harder, So I love D'Amico, man. He's a great coach. I think Nick has done a great job as well. Our ownership has. Just the city of Houston, like you said, man. Like, I don't know about what happened in the past, but I know now, like, just the buzz in the city just feels great, Just feels like how it's supposed to be.
Hell yeah.
What else we need a new pool table. We need
Well, Case Keenum is probably the best. What is it? The ping pong.
Oh.
Case is nice.
Okay,
Case
what
is
else do
really
we
good.
have? We got ping pong in there?
Got ping pong. We got basketball. I'm by far the best shooter on the team.
Ooh.
I don't want to hear it. Ask George Fant. Ask Laramie Tunsil. Shaq Mason.
So are those guys your fans or guys you've beat?
Guys I've beaten.
Oh, okay. Not the guys that are like, CJ's the guy, like
No,
talking
you can ask
shit.
anybody.
These are guys that you just beat and they know.
Yes.
Okay.
Tank Dale.
What are we playing? 10 shots?
So I don't want to put us on blast, but we just go like shot for shot pretty much.
Okay, got it.
Shot for shot. So if I hit, he miss, and yeah.
Yeah, you win.
Game.
Yeah.
Is there cornhole in there?
It's actually a new game. It's not spike ball. It has like John Weeks just put in there a long snapper. He's been here. He's on like his 15th year.
Dude,
Weeksy?
Yeah.
That's my guy.
He's been playing there for how many punters? A lot.
Yeah, he's been here for 15, I think.
Stud. I think he had a
13
couple
or 15.
injuries too,
Yeah.
middle of his career. He came
So
back.
he got a new
He's
game
dog.
in there. It's like orange and strings, and it's a ball, and it's like a net, and then it's another net on top, and it's like a cone, and then it's another thing on top, and so it's like 2 points if you get it on the first thing.
How we doing? We're throwing? What are we
So
doing?
you're throwing it, and you want to bounce it, and then it like go. I don't know what it's called, but it's a cool game. They
He's
just put it in
good?
there last week. I ain't played it yet. Steve Nelson is good at it though, our corner.
Well, we see you play baseball,
Yep.
Yeah.
lacrosse,
Golf.
basketball,
Yep.
and football for your warm-ups. Have you developed any routines throughout this NFL season?
Yeah, I think that was one of the main things I wanted to do was get away. Because, like, in college, I was very superstitious. Like, I would, like, do a lot of, like, things just to, like, get myself in the rhythm. But
Isn't it crazy the pressure you put on yourself
Exactly,
to make it? To
right.
make it is a lot different than the one once you have, kind of.
yeah, and I look back, and I'm like, man, I just put a lot of, like, dumb pressure on myself to,
Yes.
like, if I didn't do this little thing, I'm like, oh, I'm going to play better or whatever. Like, I thought it was so stupid. So that Georgia game, I just started doing whatever felt natural. And then from there, I went back home in California, started training with my trainers, John Beck, Taylor Kelly, and Adam Dudo, who works with 3D QB, where I train in Huntington Beach. And we started doing, like, basketball stuff, baseball stuff, swinging baseball bats.
Just being an athlete.
Yeah, just being like, because being a quarterback, like, it's such a rotational sport. Like, it's so many different movements. Like, you're crossing over like a quarterback. You're shuffling like you're playing defense. You're rotating your body like you're swinging a bat. You're flicking your wrist like you're shooting a basketball.
Yeah,
So
we
it's a
saw
lot of
that.
things.
We saw that.
saw that one?
There was like a 21-yarder where you're getting tackled, and you literally just did that.
You like that one?
No.
So, yeah.
I didn't like
Yeah.
any of it, but
A
it was
lot of that
incredibly
stuff-
impressive.
A lot of that stuff kind of plays into, like, the role of a quarterback, and it just feels natural to me. I played all those sports growing up, and I know it kind of looks crazy, but I like it, and it works.
So we saw you at that Georgia game.
Yep.
And we said, yeah, that's the
Someday, guy.
That's the guy.
that's the one right there. You just said that was a different you, though, right?
Yeah.
Mentally or physically, you think?
I would say both. I came into that game like I would say I wouldn't say that was probably my best college game. I think that was my most free game. Where like I was like, man, whatever happens, I don't really care. I'm gonna go out with no regrets.
So mentally, you feel
I just let go, you know, because it's a lot of pressure playing on Ohio State, man. Losing one game, especially like the games we lost, like we're still a really good team, but like our fan base, everybody told us like we sucked at that point, you know. So it was like I was like, man, you know what? And a lot of our fans stuck true. It's like the social media fans. That's what I call it. Like you'll go to and you'll see a stadium, and Coach Day used to tell me this, like you could think the whole stadium hates you. They really don't. Our fans love us, you know. But losing that game doesn't help. And it's like those 500 negative fans that are in the
Which is a lot of scrolls.
Right.
500 is a lot of scrolls if you think about it.
And in college, I used to go look, and like that was just the worst thing I could possibly do. But like at that point, I'm like, man, you know what? Like I've done a lot of cool stuff in college, and I'm gonna go just prove myself, you know. And we're gonna prove ourselves right in this game, and we did that. Of course, we came up short, but that was a game I think like, man, I think I showed like what I can do for real.
That's a very mature way of looking at life, which is why you've probably had the success that you've already had in the NFL at such a young age, because that's not easy to get through. You know, because that 500 is that's a long time.
Right.
That's like, what, 4 on a screen at a time?
Yeah.
So you start doing that. If you think about how many 500 is, and it's so much, but you got 100 and some thousand in the stadium that don't feel obligated to tell you, hey, I like you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a different time. It's interesting. To have that mental toughness, I think, is, great for you, terrible for the Colts.
Yeah, brutal.
It is absolutely terrible for the Colts. CJ, we appreciate you stopping by, man. You going to be at the game tonight?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know, man.
Michigan, man, come on.
Yeah, Michigan fans will love you.
I like
cheer
that
for
word.
him.
It's respect. I don't know. I can't say anything else. I can't disrespect, but I don't know. I'm going for Washington. Michael Penix is a great quarterback, by the way, man. He's a dog. I like Penix. I like the receivers.
Me too.
What's his name?
Yeah.
He does.
Penix?
All right.
Michael.
Penix? What is it?
I've been pronouncing it wrong all
Yeah.
season.
What
You
is
might
it?
be. You're smart.
My bad, Mike. My bad.
No, it's all.
Hey,
He's a dog.
Tight spiral.
We actually, bro, so we played him in COVID year, 2020, and he lit us up.
Indiana?
Indiana.
Those are fun, man.
He lit us up. And I was like, the game, he kind of got put on the map. I was like, man, who is this dude? He was nice.
Yeah. He's thrown
Yeah, he
for
a good
4
player.
bills 4 times this year already, over 400.
Wow.
Then obviously, J.J. McCarthy, 26-1 as a starter. So
He's a
easy
dog.
lean for
CJ.
you.
We'll see, man. You know? No comment.
Rose Bowl was awesome watching that Michigan team come together. Everything they've been through, and then the Washington team, same exact stuff. Everybody's been down them all year. Every game, it's like,
10-point underdogs.
and then they just go on and win everything.
It was a bowler that said a cool quote once. He was basically, he was retiring. He was thanking everybody. He was like, thank you guys for watching. That's all you could do. So, like, that's how, like, I feel like as players, that's how we feel. It's like, y'all can talk all y'all want. We really the ones. We the men in the arena. You know, we the ones going out there, putting our bodies, putting our lives, putting our livelihood on the line, you know. So, like, people can say whatever they want. It doesn't matter. Like,
A lot of people
we gotta
appreciate
go
the hell
play,
out of you, though,
you know?
Yeah.
So,
especially in this city. Can't wait to watch you, man. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate you.
Appreciate
Ladies
you,
and
man.
gentlemen,
My dog.
CJ Stroud. We've got about a minute and a half left here on ESPN. We'll continue after the second hour on YouTube and ESPN Plus. I guess there's some people that watch on there
Whoa.
that are like work or
Are you sure?
Yep.
school.
CJ, you got a
Why?
QR code on your pants.
Did you know that?
Where does that go? Where does that take us?
Hold on, you're muted.
Oh,
you're
my
muted.
bad.
It's Steve Sims, his brand. So
Like
one of
it.
our players here.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I guess you.
It looks
scan
super cool.
You get the link to where it goes. So.
Takes you right to the
Smart.
website.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can we see it?
Yeah.
Can we see the
Triple
link?
M, it's like a cross. Hold on, let me see.
Because we might be able to get the QR code.
Yeah, then people can.
Mid
For
will
Steve
definitely
Sims.
cop those.
Oh,
we
yeah.
got.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got. Can you see? Hold on, I got to pull it up a little bit.
Oh.
Boom.
They're fine.
Boom!
Good fine, camera 3.
Good eye. Good eye.
Hi.
Good eye.
All right, I'm about to get out of here.
All right, see you, CJ.
Good luck.
Michigan is going to clip him saying, I like Penix, by the way. I just want that to be known.
Penix.
Penix.
I mean, everyone says it different, don't
Yeah, didn't
Desmond Howard.
yeah.
Yeah.
they?
Desmond Howard said
Oh,
Penix.
just so you know.
Hey, see you, dude. Thanks for being so good at football.
You guys are so screwed.
Yeah.
For so long.
Unfortunately, you are.
Man.
Thought it was Trevor Lawrence. It's
Wearing
him.
his teammates' clothes, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Says all the right things. Yeah.
What does everything right.
Everything he does is the right thing. Louis Vuitton hat, too, just to remind you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, still got it.
Oh, yeah.
He's so good at football.
Filthy.
All right, hour one ends. In the second hour, we'll be joined by, I believe, Adam Schefter at some point. I don't know if anything is broken during our conversation with playoff contending Houston Texans quarterback. But hopefully there'll be some stuff cooking. We'll see you in three. There is a crowd of about 30 people moving through the back end of the business field here. And in the middle of it is this black Samoan man who has become the most famous human on earth.
Great guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There's thousands of people skipping class to come see your big ass.
Listen, there is thousands and thousands of you skipping class. It doesn't matter if they go to class.
Moana is one of the best animated films of all time.
What?
Okay, can't wait for the live action.
Thank you, yes.
But
You're welcome.
We talk about Mana,
What can I say except you're welcome?
and we talk about Mana.
Honestly, listen, kid, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. Oh, that was Maui just messing around. I could have buried its guts, sprouted a tree, now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What is the takeaway? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the temperature here on my skin is a map of the victories I win. Look where I've been to make everything happen. Look at the me, mini Maui just tickety-tapping. That's it.
Still got it.
On the Samoan side, Polynesian side, we have a word called mana. Mana is spirit, mana is power. Mana comes from in here. It's the thing that gives you goosebumps. It's that thing you feel. It's that thing when I walked out and we felt this thing. This is mana. This is mana. It's very, very, very real, and you could feel it. Mwah. Little things like I don't get driven anywhere. I don't want to get driven anywhere. I don't like chauffeurs. Keeps me in my way just a little grounded. Like I could drive myself everywhere and not telling some guy, hey, take me here, take me there.
That is something I'm going to start saying, like, yeah. Because when they open your door, you feel so bad. I can open my own door, dude. They're trying to be courteous. It's their job. But also, the day I stop opening my own door is the day I become a big old bitch.
Here we go.
That's a big cup. Sorry, Mike.
Here's the iconic sound. You guys know it. This special Terramana toast goes out to Passion. Congratulations on your show. Very proud of you. Very proud of all you boys. And to all of you, love you guys. Thank you for the support. Keep kicking ass. Cheers. In my world, when I sit down and we're talking about movies and all this other shit, it's never this. It's never this, back with the boys, and you. So I appreciate it, and this one's to you. Thank you, boys.
See you, pal. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break here.
Oh, hold on, one more.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, Dwayne, let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to NRG Stadium, live in Houston, Texas. The national championships tonight. We're overreacting. Hour 2 begins now.
Football!
It's happening right here in this beautiful city, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
Tonight, a national champion will be crowned for the 2023 college football season. That was remarkable. We have college game day starting at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern, going for 2.5 hours. Then we will be doing a field pass on ESPN2 for the entire game. That is an alternate cast. Okay. That is an alternate cast.
Not the main one?
There is a main one, done by professionals who have been putting in an insane amount of work this week to call that game, because this will be a 20 million plus person watched event, and we are lucky to be here. It's not just me, obviously. I'm with an incredible crew of characters who bring a coolness to a... couldn't think of another C word. I was doing a lot of alliteration, but you get it. Ladies and gentlemen, 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler. D-Bush, pretty cool to be here, man, honestly.
This is awesome. Obviously, we got some great personal memories in here, but it'll be a great national championship.
That hasn't even been brought up one time.
No.
I kicked the ball to myself on that.
Oh, yeah.
Right there, I kicked the ball to myself.
That's right.
Should have told CJ that.
Maybe the most athletic thing I've ever done in my entire being, will ever be able to do, happened right down there on a Thursday Night Football. Man. Whew, you're right.
Good
We
times.
did have
Good
good.
times.
Yeah,
Yep.
we did have good times.
We'll think about it.
I wouldn't go most athletic thing either. I mean, let's remember what you did to Austin Theory in Dallas, Texas.
Oh,
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, my reversal of that Aton Don to put him
Bingo.
down for
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Uh-huh.
You're right. I mean, people
Texas.
didn't even play. Yeah, I love this city.
Yeah.
Love this state. I'm sorry. Anyways, a man who's wearing red because his team is not here, and a team that is his rival is certainly here, and they're favored by 5.5. The president of Ohio, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, AJ Hawk. AJ is the buzz palpable. I'll tell you what, the rain certainly puts a damper on some things. Feels like outside, because there's like a lot of stuff set up. The college football playoff does a fantastic job.
Awesome.
They make it feel
It's like Super Bowl week, basically.
Yeah.
bingo.
It's college Super Bowl week where there's all these events. Who was the band that played last night or 2 nights?
All American Rejects.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, I mean, they get everybody to come out here.
Yeah, we got
Fantasia's going to be
yeah,
singing.
yeah.
Whoa.
Hey,
I don't know who
man,
halftime is, but
we're about to get a potential
Poser.
performance from Fantasia
Yeah.
wait.
in a few minutes, which we will also debut. I had an opportunity to have a sit-down
Okay.
with the head coaches of the teams that are competing
Wow.
for the national championship this evening.
No big
Great.
deal.
Coach Jim Harbaugh and Coach Kalen DeBoer and me in a dimly lit, very professional setting. Yes,
I like that.
$1 billion set.
Candles?
there was no candles, but if they put them in there, they wouldn't stick out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sure.
that's what I
Harbaugh
was,
shines
I was
too bright.
picturing. My picture was right then.
Like if they had a couple candles in there, people would be like,
Okay.
Makes sense. Ambiance.
tell you what, pretty good. 10 minutes.
Awesome.
10:30 was kind of, I don't want to say shoehorned in at the end, but
Shoehorned
in
perhaps.
at the end. Potentially their last media thing that they were contractually obligated to do, because I was kind of offered up. They were like, the coaches, hey, there it is right
Some
there.
plants?
Yeah, look at that. I think
looks
those are
happy.
Succulents?
succulents, the ones that don't need water.
Correct. Easy to take care of.
Yeah, the succulents in there. The room was nice,
Trophy?
Yeah, the trophy's
The-
there. Stay tuned. Did anybody touch that trophy during the conversation?
Whoa.
Oh, that's a teaser.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Uh-oh. Is that a weird thing? You're not allowed to touch it?
Yeah.
You tell me, AJ.
I don't know. That's what
You're
I'm
a
wondering.
college football national
It's a
champion.
hockey thing, right?
When you won the NFC Championship, did you touch trophy? Because I know a lot of teams don't.
I do not believe I did.
I'll tell you what, when we won the AFC
think it was
championship, I think I touched it.
Nice
really?
smooch.
Just as soon. Maybe that's why we lost the Super Bowl. Oh.
There's a chance. Didn't
Oh,
you put
no,
a banner
right.
up for that? Yes, they did. Yeah. So,
I mean,
so, yeah,
you
should
put up
touch it. It's a
AFC
big-
Championship banner.
You
big
think,
deal.
you
You
think
should
about
put the
this
banner
too, just an added little thing here. Anyways, that's coming up in like 10 minutes or so.
Yep.
Great conversation, I thought. I actually learned some stuff, asked some questions from the show so we could get information from the coaches and everything like that. But the banner thing, if we win the AFC South, they take that down. Because there's AFC South champion banner, AFC South champion banner, AFC finalist banner.
And now next to it, AFC South finalist banner.
That's Boston Connor. He is a masshole.
He is.
That's Ty Schmidt. They make up the toxic table. Boys, you're calling a national championship again, Ty Schmidt.
Unbelievable. I mean, should we be here?
No!
Probably not.
No
but,
way.
But like I said, the vibes are immaculate. This is shaping up to be potentially one of the greatest weeks of all time. I cannot believe we're here. Like you said, there's just something about being in an empty stadium. Everyone's kind of going. We know what's going to happen later tonight,
yeah,
but we don't
it
know
is.
how it's going to happen.
Final checks from security.
Exactly.
If this goes down, what are we going to do? And a lot of them are going to say, we can't really walk more than 10 yards.
No.
Oh,
Bingo.
that's it.
Exactly.
I wasn't expecting that.
He's right. He's not wrong.
It's true.
I've been in a lot of stadiums lately.
Hey, some good eating out here.
A lot of, not only, all right.
Well,
That's not
we
even.
got some
D-bud.
98-year-olds protecting the house.
Where were we
hands.
last night? What was that place we were at last night down here in Houston?
Prospect Park.
That was awesome.
Get
yeah.
there. Get there if you're in the area.
That place was awesome.
They had good security.
They had great security.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the first places I've ever been where I'm like, okay, Real security.
Feel good.
Real security.
The mall we were at, great security.
Oh, yeah.
The mall had a.
Every store had a security guard.
That's one half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs. The place where we were staying down here in Houston, the Galleria area.
Yeah, really nice.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. There's like a little plops too. Like you drive like 10 minutes, all of a sudden you're in like a different little sub Houston area. Because if you remember, Houston is 700 miles wide.
Yes.
Huge.
If you recall.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's like the 4th largest city in America. If this team gets going, which it feels like they're going to, it is going to be a phenomenal. Now let's look ahead to this evening, okay? This Washington Huskies team.
Yeah.
Boys, as we learned about them over the last week or so, as we had to dive in for this evening's big game that we'll be calling on the sideline.
Yep.
Darius, this team, 5.5-point dogs on ESPN Bet.
Yeah, a lot of points.
Not worried about a damn thing over there. That's a veteran-led group that can put up numbers if they have to.
A lot of points. And Tone mentioned it earlier. If it turns into a track meet, obviously the Washington team is
They're
going
a
to
track
go
meet
with.
team.
Obviously, Michael Penix, 400 yards, over 400 times. Mentioned that earlier. Roman Doomsday, Polk out there, a bunch of first rounders at the wide receiver position. And then an offensive line that can protect. Joe Moore Award winners.
Yep.
So best offensive line in the country. But we saw that Michigan defensive front. If they get after them early like they did in Alabama, it can get ugly for Washington.
Hey, Mason Graham. Number
Dog.
55
Big
for the
dog.
Michigan Wolverines in the middle of that defensive line. Now, obviously, the plan has always been to get to Michael Penix.
Sure.
Yes.
Hey, just get him off. He's able to do it. He showcased some running, too.
Oh, yeah.
He's a very, very, very capable mover if he has to. Just hasn't had, I think his stats going into last weekend were like 89% of his completions were from the pocket or something like that.
Jeez.
Where you
So,
wanna
like, he is just protected immensely. Go ahead, Tone.
For you guys that have been in the NFL, then like, does Michigan come and they put as little people in the box as they can to see if how little people they can put in the box and still stop the run to compete against like the 4, 5, 6 weapons that he has thrown
Absolutely.
into?
You want to, in Michigan, their defense kind of want to make you go the long, hard way. You want to keep too high as much as possible with these receivers running because they don't need much space. You see Penix, how on the money he can put those balls. So, yeah, you want to be able to get after the quarterback with 4, maybe 5, but you got to keep some safeties.
Hey, they ran pressure, or they ran a stunt. What was it? First play of the game last week.
They did.
Michigan. Was it a stunt or pressure? I don't remember.
I'm not
It was
sure.
It was a pressure, and then they ran
They
a.
were winning their one-on-ones. That's the thing.
like
Up front, dudes win it. Boom. Strike, separate, winning one-on-ones. First series already. Like Michigan set the tone defense.
And we didn't know if that was going to happen against an Alabama team that, like, hey, it's Alabama.
Yeah.
You know? And I think a lot of us thought that way, potentially about, like, can the Michigan team keep up
Here it is.
athletically with everything as well? It's like, this defense is so good.
Yeah.
They are smothering. Everybody said Alabama had a bad first half, bad game. It's like, well, maybe there's a reason.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Maybe there is a reason, and it's this incredible group. And then after getting a chance to chat with Jim Harbaugh, which we will be airing here in about 5 minutes or so, although I see them already set up down there, I think there's going to be a potential miscommunication issue that's going to lead to some sort of conversation that's going to happen somewhere
Of course.
above the level we are currently sitting at.
Sure.
But one that I will be called to take the steps up to chat as well.
That's
Absolutely.
You know, that
right. Getting used to that, it feels like.
yeah, which is a good place to be. Good place to be. But like Harbaugh, no worries right now.
Nope.
He was
He's in a
chilling.
good spot.
Locked
It's a
in.
football game.
Like literally, just like
He's been in a Super Bowl. He's coaching a Super Bowl.
well, when you think about all the way back to when all this stuff started happening, that's when he started using his best stuff at the press conference.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like it's almost like reinvigorated him, almost as if he is empowered by everything that has happened because he knows he did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
It's like they searched everything allegedly. Like they were going through phones, Stallions' phones.
What?
They were going trying to at least, and then everybody seeing, and it's like he was exonerated from knowing that this was happening, but it did happen in a situation he was in. I appreciate the fact that he has just been right in, and his boys have just followed right in line
Veteran
behind
team,
him.
too.
Yeah.
Veteran team, veteran staff, and listening to Saban talking on the show earlier about that was the first time they saw formations. And you talk about Michigan formation
Huddle.
team. That
Huddle.
huddle. I'm sorry, but coming out of there, getting to a formation and then shifting, motioning, getting into another one. So it'd be interesting to see how Washington handles that. But Jim Harbaugh has been unbelievable all year long.
Well, and I think if you look at and listen to like what Schefter said about, hey, his only goal was he wanted to, restore Michigan to the brand.
Oh,
that it
I
used to
asked
be.
him about that.
Here we
And
go.
like,
Ooh.
Good tease.
obviously you want to win tonight. They obviously want to win the national championship. So does he. But like, mission accomplished. Like Michigan is back. They're elite again. I mean, they're, 10 years ago, Michigan was kind of like a doormat, and now they're who everyone knows them to be.
And
Uh-oh.
the state below Michigan,
Yeah.
No.
South,
Right. That
From the-
team down south.
instead of the
Shoot.
team up north.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is everything
Mission
okay?
is not accomplished for Michigan, by the way. They need to win tonight. Don't you think they need to figure this thing out? They need to go ahead and win.
I don't think so.
Mission is not. You think Jim Harbaugh is going to afterwards, if they lose the game, say, "Hey guys, I did my gig. Like we're good. We're back on the
5.5 point
go."
favorites too.
Yeah, they need to. They
No,
need
but
to
I mean,
finish
it
it
might
off,
be
but
a
they
great-
haven't
Did
at
we
all.
expect a 5.5 point favorite for Michigan?
I mean, Washington's
It's. I mean, Vegas
every
with
week.
Washington's been super weird because they were 10-point dogs in the Pac-12 championship,
Yeah.
and then they were they were 4.5
And
to
Vegas,
They were
which is
4.5 to Texas last week. So I thought it would be something along those lines. But I mean, and Michigan and Georgia in Vegas' eyes have been the two best teams all year long. So I wasn't super surprised by the line, but I mean it's a lot.
55.5.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's gonna go. I'm an under guy. You know that for sure. I think,
Always have.
and I'm pretty sure it's gonna go over.
Damn.
Okay, so we got some fireworks.
So you think Michigan's going to be able to run the ball?
I think Michigan's gonna be able to move the ball, and I think Washington's gonna be able to move the ball. I think both teams are gonna be able to move the ball. Yeah. I mean, national championships generally they get out and they start scoring.
Isn't it crazy? Because you think they might be a little bit tight, and if they're tight, that would certainly not be better for Washington because of how electrifying they can be and how Blake can run that thing 32 straight times. I had a chance to sit down with the coaches of both teams that are competing in the national championship just yesterday. It's about 10 minutes. We'll listen to Fantasia sing the national anthem. It's going to be awesome. While you guys get a chance to hear from these coaches, be a little bit of humans from just yesterday. Gentlemen, congratulations. Thank you so much for taking the time. Well, you're contractually obligated to, so I appreciate you guys being here.
I want to be here. I just want you to know.
Come on.
I have watched you and do your thing, man. Nothing but respect and praise for you. The shirt, where's the shirt though?
Yeah.
And the guys love you too, man. The players love you. The kids love you.
Come on. That makes me feel really good. I had a couple booze cocktails last night. Was in here a little tired. You just made me feel
Mercy, I don't want to hear about that.
No, it was me. It was me, not your boys or anything like that. But let's talk about this. So I have a show every day. A lot of things are said on it. And I'll start with you, Coach. Adam Schefter joined us, Michigan man. And he talked about you and your trip back to Michigan. And he said that he thought one of your missions was to restore greatness at Michigan. Like, as a Michigan man, you almost felt obligated to your alma mater to come back and restore greatness. Now, I don't know if he was speaking for you or if he was just thinking that that was the case. 3 straight college football playoffs, now a national championship appearance. Do you feel like you've done that for Michigan? And was that a mindset going back to coach there?
Yeah, I wanted. I mean, there's a Michigan man. I try to live up to that standard. It's how you describe that. There's no real one definition, but if when they throw dirt over top of me, if somebody would eulogize me and say he was a Michigan man, that would and that would sum it up. I'd feel really good about that.
3 straight, and then now a national championship appearance. I think a lot of Michigan people in khakis are saying you definitely did that. And for you, Coach, I've got a chance to learn a lot about the history of Washington football this year because they've been taking a trip down memory lane with how great Washington football used to be. I think a lot of America is getting introduced to the great fan base that the Washington football Huskies have had. Was that something that you talked about whenever you took the job? Was that expected of you? Like, hey, we're trying to get back to a national prominence. And did you expect it to happen as quickly?
Yeah, I knew there was certainly a history of greatness that was surrounding the program, and that was very attractive to me. I think there was these roots, these bones about the program that had championship kind of a feel to it. Knew it was possible because it's been done before, and just coming in, I guess. Not in an arrogant way, but just feeling like that's what we're going to do is compete for championships, and to do it here in year 2 is special. It's a huge credit to our players. It's a huge credit to the people that helped bring them in, even prior to our staff. There's just a way that our guys have embraced our coaching staff coming in here in these 2 years. It goes both ways, but man, it's just awesome. Having these moments right now bring back a lot of the memories of those great teams in the past, and hearing more and more stories and me being even more educated, only having been here 2 years. It's really a fun time right now being a Washington Husky.
Coach, we're out there for game day, 6 a.m. local out there in Washington, Seattle, packed out. Rain, miserable, cold, your fans show. I didn't know what to expect. I was a little bit of a hater going in. And then it was like the most active crowd I've ever seen. I'm like, I did not know West Coast football was like this. They're like, well, Washington, it's different. Speaking of different, your quarterback seems to be different. This dude's accuracy is phenomenal. His arm a cannon. His leadership, great. But I think the story going into the year was he came back to do this, right? Isn't this kind of why he came back to Washington? And with everything he's been through, why is he the perfect leader for the team that you have?
Yeah, well, first of all, it was great having you out there. And
it was awesome.
We didn't have that sitting next to us, but, we had...
They brought this thing in first, the bottom part. Mm-hmm. That was a little small. You know what I mean? And then they brought this top part on. I'm like, now we're talking.
Sweet.
That's what we're playing for, Coach. Will you touch this? Will you touch this? Me too, man. I got no shot. But Michael Penix, why do you think he's the perfect guy for your team?
Yeah, he just, going back to when he came here, it helped us kickstart things really quickly. He knew the offense. It was the same system we ran back in 2019, and so we really got off and rolling quickly. But what I've really seen out of him this last year, beyond the skill sets and all the things that he can do with his accuracy, his arm talent, he's really led our team. And I have such an appreciation for the journey he's been on, how he's taken all those experiences and really poured them into making sure that he can pass those moments that he's learned from. No regrets, you control all those things that he stands for, having faith and just confidence in who you are, that things can, the sun will come up the next day, when adversity does strike. He's taken all of that and just poured into our team. Our team, again, has embraced him in every way possible, and it's just been an awesome piece to see from my vantage point as a head coach, seeing this group of gentlemen come together, and obviously led by Michael.
Yeah, thanks for what you guys did for the state of Indiana there. Yeah, that was the most exciting college football we had in our state for a while there. You guys were dicing and slicing. Coach Harbaugh, a wise man once said, I like my locker room to be like my mother's bathing suits, in one piece.
In one piece.
And then I also heard a wise man say that chickens were a skittish bird, and then that same man said, I was completely wrong. Yeah. We're talking
Takes a big man to admit they're wrong.
Big man. Huge to do that. Low maintenance, high production.
Correct.
These chickens. So with both those things coming together, do you think the reason why your locker room has been able to handle everything and has been able to stay in one piece like your mother's bathing suit is because they're a bunch of chickens, low maintenance, high production? Why do you think your group has been able to handle everything that's been thrown their way this year and not blinked? I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm forced to pick games every week on game day. Don't love it. Mm-hmm. Not an easy way to be a hero in every town, especially in a very, we'll say, aggressive college fan base in some places. Got some death threats in places, for picking against their team. I assumed with the amount of distractions that your team had this year, 18 to 23-year-olds, that's something we get in. It's hard to win a football game. Your team has stayed the course, stayed tight, remained that bathing suit. Why do you think that's the case? And who do you think is responsible for that outside yourself?
Sure. Well, a lot of factors go into it. A lot of times it's 1,000 little things that add up to make all the difference. But, different factors. Sometimes it's as simple as, I don't care what the frick you say about us. We know who we are, and we're going to try to dominate this day, go to sleep, and then wake up and dominate the next day. Another part is, it's low maintenance equals the lower the maintenance, the higher your production. I don't have any scientific evidence to support that. It's just what I've noticed. And the big thing is the players. It's always comes back to the players, Pat, in my opinion. And Coach said, he had a quarterback that came back. He had members of his team that came back because they wanted to accomplish something. We had the exact same thing. J.J. McCarthy, when he walked off the podium last year after the TCU game, said he will be back. We'll be back. And I had a reporter ask me yesterday, well, J.J. McCarthy last year left the podium and he said that he would be back, whatever. And I said, not whatever. Yeah. That's huge. Michael Penix, it wasn't just a resolution for Michael or JJ. I mean, that was repetition. That went in every single day. And had they not done that, it would have been, that guy would have been the first guy to say, what went wrong, knew it was going to go wrong, predicted it was going to go wrong, not giving a frick, and, putting that repetition in every single day. Those players made that happen. I take very little credit for what our players and coaches were able to accomplish this year, but Yeah.
Well, I love it. I love your teams watching them. Last question for me, for both of you, and I appreciate it. And I think you probably already had to address this 1,000 times. And as we get closer to the game, I'm sure you're both excited to not have to do it anymore. But as you watch film of his team, what do you think his culture is? What do you think he's looking for whenever he's recruiting a guy? Can you tell that by watching film and watching what type of team he has on the field?
Yeah, tough, physical, connected, really talented players, really well coached and connected.
How about you, Coach?
Yeah, I think the thing that I've been impressed with, because you always kind of identify it when it's something that you really feel is important, and you can see that, Coach uses the word connected. I think that's a great one, but you can see a team that's just fighting all together, all heading the same direction, want it for each other. A lot of the things that I think we've utilized as far as having people maybe doubt us or challenge us in different ways. We've had each of those things happen in our programs, over the last couple of years. And, it's just, it's all about just you. And I think Coach has done an awesome job galvanizing his team and bringing them together and just, being there for each other. I think that's what our team has done. We're there to fight. But, yeah, Coach, when you talk about toughness and physicality, Coach Harbaugh and his team, this would be the greatest challenge we've had all year long by far, both sides of the ball in all ways, all phases.
Well, great work this year by both of you and your teams. Congratulations. Coach already touched this. Maybe you'll get to do the same. What did you say to Reese? Resilience, cool, but I want to be relentless. Bruce Willis, Die Hard, okay. Give me the Terminator.
Yeah.
You both proved that this year. Congratulations. Yeah, thank you so much for taking time. Yeah, I mean, honestly, obviously we were to Matt Dash there as everything was happening. Fantasia absolutely crushed it. Tonight's going to be epic. I cannot wait for the world to hear what we just got to hear, that we were captivated by so much that maybe we're a little bit late back to the set. But we're not alone in thanking both Harbaugh and DeBoer for not only making this an incredible game that we're all anticipating, some fireworks and great football, but also handling this whole thing awesome. They've been everywhere.
Yeah.
They've been talking to everybody.
Yep.
Them taking the time out of their life to talk to me in that particular, contractually obligated, which I certainly reminded them at the beginning and had to. And that's the first time we've ever done that, so I didn't want them to feel forced. They were fantastic. Good luck tonight, boys.
Go get them, fellas.
Good luck, boys. All right, so there's potential fireworks that are going to take place in the upcoming moments.
Yes.
And if they do, there's a chance that the microphones and some of the power will go out.
Oh, good.
So there's a chance. We have no idea what's going to take place. I just saw some flashing lights. Don't know if they're testing videos or not, but would like to let everybody know everything we've seen, which I don't think we're supposed to see a lot of the, because they were talking about us leaving.
Yeah, lock and key.
Not supposed to be here. Tonight, going to be a good show.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be
so
a great
pumped.
I think it's going to be a really good show, and we're lucky to be here. Now, speaking of being here, there's a new man that has joined us. He's been great for us this year.
Fantastic. Yes.
Always comes on, literally whenever.
Start to finish.
Now, you guys just got to get somebody to put it in schedule. The schedule is packed, but if it's in there, execute it. Ladies and gentlemen, senior NFL insider at ESPN, friend of the program, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter.
Now, also,
I'm lucky to be here, and it's an honor to be on set with all you guys today in person. That's awesome.
Well,
truly.
Jeff, you don't have to lie to us.
It's our honor, Shefty.
Our honor. My honor.
Yes.
Hey, good to see you, dude. Thanks for this year.
Hey, thank you.
At the beginning, we didn't know how it was going to go.
Yeah, not sure.
We didn't know how it was going to go.
And how did it go? It went all right.
I think you showed up every week.
Yeah, very
showed up
good.
every single week for us.
I'll always be there. I can't tell you I'll give you anything good, but I'll always be there.
Which we appreciate.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Still
that.
showing up.
And on the flip side, we will let you know how we feel about it immediately. Now, today is a day where a lot of things are supposed to be known, and in the past have been known very much in the NFL. Now, you have been staring at your phone since you got here. You just explained what's going through your mind on this particular day since you got here, pretty much on what could happen at any moment. What are we hearing? What do we know? We know Ron Rivera,
Yep.
we know Artie Smith, mad.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. He felt disrespected.
Yep.
Jameis said the guys, we voted.
Whoops.
Yeah.
So nothing Dennis Allen could do. He's been fired. Obviously, there's openings that have happened during the season. What is your expectation on today, and how has it gone for you thus far?
Well, by the way, to bring it back to what we talked about this season, we said 7 to 10, right? We're at 5. We're at 5 right now. Okay. We're waiting to see what happens in New England. Again, that's one of those situations where I think a lot of people across the league think it will wind up in a divorce, but there's a lot of conversations that you have to have before you get to a divorce when there's 24 years together.
That's right,
Let me ask you about this. So that game yesterday felt like a tribute to Bill Belichick. You can also put your phone on not sleep mode, so you don't have to keep it alive.
Oh, how do you do that?
Yeah, we'll do it. Somebody should have done that.
It probably burns battery, though, right?
Well, it does, but
you don't
Yeah,
have
but
to.
this is
You
the-
can't burn battery today.
I'll do it right now.
I've been here since early this morning, and I'm just praying the phone lasts.
We got to get you a
Dude,
mobile
dude.
charger.
Yeah,
Come
he's
on,
gonna
listen.
let you take his phone right
Shefty.
now.
Yeah, come on.
Shefty,
Come on.
mobile charger, okay, change a couple settings, need the newest iPhone. What are you doing? Shefty, what are you doing?
ESPN gives us the iPhones.
Oh, but you can say, you know what, I'll spend this amount of money to make my life so much better. You with one of those big iPhones with a charger on the bottom, that photo would be electrifying, especially on this particular day. But yesterday, the game with the Patriots and the Jets felt like a tribute game to Bill Belichick's time in New England.
Well, it should be.
Okay, do you think they felt obligated to do that because they didn't know, or do you think they knew something, which is why they did that, which is what some Patriots fans potentially thought while watching?
Or maybe it's both. Maybe they think there is the real possibility that it's going to be his last game, and we don't know if they're going to get another chance to be together. So you honor him. Why? It's never too late to honor anybody. And if he's back, then great. Then it works out fine. But again, I think that's been the prevailing notion that that would have been the last game. But before you get there, there's conversations that have to occur, and we'll see what comes out of them.
Tone Diggs' team has some stuff.
Yeah, Glazer started talking about it a little bit yesterday. You were talking about yesterday. Is just out of nowhere we're hearing is Tomlin thinking about maybe going to another team? I'm hearing Commanders. I'm hearing his wife loves LA. I mean, a few weeks ago when things were going bad, yeah, there was talk about it, but that was, things are great now.
Oh my God, him with
10-7.
Herbert?
Well, let's take it easy, okay?
Joey Bosa, Derwin James.
Oh yeah, because they've been
just take
great
some time
forever.
off.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. By the way, like
away.
Sean Payton took a year off.
That worked
and
out.
Worked in broadcasting and just kind of stepped back and then came back a year later and got a new deal from Denver, and it worked out pretty well for him. And I don't know what Mike Tomlin's going to do, but I can tell you there are people out there in the league who say that that's potentially an option, that after the season, maybe he could walk. What's interesting to me is when Pittsburgh went through the tough stretch that it did this year, and I noticed that when you post about the guy, like there's so much negativity.
Oh yeah.
Towards him, so much negativity in Pittsburgh, and I think he's much more respected.
That guy dressed like
Half of it's this guy right here. Half of it's Tone Diggs.
That was only Matt Canada.
Only
And
Matt
he-
Canada.
and he deserved
But you're telling me that city?
Let me tell you what
Mike
happened.
appreciates
Can I
Mike
tell
Tomlin?
you? Can I tell you as an observer and a reporter? Can I tell you as an observer and a reporter?
Yeah.
I think Mike Tomlin backing Matt Canada there for a few weeks, which I think he felt obligated to. I hired this guy to be the offense coordinator publicly. I got to take a stand for my guy, which is how Tomlin has always operated. I think the people that were on Tomlin's side still in Pittsburgh, they were like, all right, we can't with this guy sticking up for this. Like, it's the same old, same old. So then when Tomlin makes the move, I think he won a lot of people back. I think there was a lot of people in Pittsburgh that were like, Tomlin made a move that he would have never made a couple years ago. The Steelers have never made. So I think there is a Tomlin support group that was potentially lost and then found again in this particular season.
Well, and then they did, and they beat the Bengals that one game, and then it got real bad with Mitch in the two games against New England and the Patriots. Or sorry, New England and the Cardinals. And Stephen A. said it on this show earlier today, like, we haven't won a playoff game since 2017, and like that's a really long time in Pittsburgh to not win a playoff game or to be in a Super Bowl. So I think Pittsburgh respects the hell out of Mike Tomlin, respects all the coaches, and respects that he's been there forever, and the winning record and never have a lose, respects all of it. But they're just tired of the mediocrity.
Well, and that's a fair point. There aren't a lot of coaches that would get to stay in one city without winning a playoff game over 6-7 years. That would not happen. But he is Mike Tomlin. He does have the track record he does. And
be who you can afford to be.
If Pittsburgh didn't want him, he would get another job like that.
I 100% agree.
It would be,
and he should.
He'd be the first guy off the street. And so we'll see. But that's just some speculation that's out there that maybe after the year, he does take a year, steps aside. Don't know that it'll happen. I'm not reporting it's going to happen, but there are people who have suggested that possibility.
Go ahead, AJ.
Which we talked about yesterday.
Getting back to Belichick, Shefty, if let's say he moves on from the Patriots, they move on. Do you see him becoming the GM and head coach wherever he goes, or is it possible, hey, just the head coach?
I think Bill loves football so much that he just wants to be a part of it. That I think it's most important for him to be a coach first and foremost. And if the other thing happens, fine. And if
So
it
you're
doesn't,
saying defensive coordinator
I
for
think-
Navy?
Yeah, exactly. He would love that. I think he's happy just being involved. I don't think he feels like, boy, I have to do this.
You don't think he wants to be in charge of all that, though? He's been in charge of everything for so long now.
Well, you heard him, what he said this morning at his press
He
conference.
acted like he was okay with it, right?
He's like, I don't have to be the head personnel man. Like that. You haven't heard him talk about that before.
Is it possible, Shefty, sorry to cut you off, that he doesn't want to coach in New England anymore and he wants to change his scenery?
Jeez.
I just
Well,
asked,
it's
is
a
it
question.
possible?
What the
It's a
hell?
question.
Is
We
this
do
framed?
questions.
Framed in an
Here's what
interesting
I would
way.
say. I would say that there probably are built up feelings, like in any relationship. There's a lot of baggage that develops over 24 years on both sides.
Of course. Yeah.
And I think there are some things that Bill doesn't like, and I think there are some things that the Crafts don't like. And they may decide, you know what, we've had enough of those things, and let's go our own ways. Or they may have the idea that let's talk this through, figure it out, come up with things that make it better, and go on. Now, again, the feeling has been that that's not going to happen, but the conversations have been going on, and until those are over, you just don't know how that's going to come out. And, you know, maybe later today, tomorrow, the end of the week, they announced that they've parted ways. We knew that was coming, but I still think until they have those talks and go through it, you just don't know.
And
Got a phone call.
We'll see. Well, we'll see.
you have to answer that right there?
Not right now. I mean,
Right, great. Okay, so not
Fair.
close.
Okay. No one's,
Okay,
nobody's
not Bob
diagram.
Kraft.
And not
Just put it in
gonna-
the microphone. We do it all the time.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
it. Just answer.
We're
Say,
live.
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 Oh, I thought you were going to do that.
No, me too. I was doing it.
Don't do that. There was a play yesterday, Shefty, and I know you have to hit your phone, where, and you just said a lot right there without saying much, but also he probably does have some information.
He's a master of it.
You know what I mean? So, like, every answer we have to kind of pick through. The New York Jets yesterday were doing snow angels
Okay.
Yep.
on the New England
Why are we
Patriots
doing
field.
this?
And then they showed Robert
Got
Kraft.
to cover everything.
And you actually see Robert Kraft go, all right, they're doing snow angels on the field. Okay? And then he shakes the hand and he's leaving. Don't get up.
Don't get up.
Don't get up.
Yeah.
They're doing snow angels.
Nice run.
In Fox. The Jets are doing snow angels.
Well, want to get down.
What a run by Brees Hall, by the way. This guy's back.
Huge day for Brees Hall. 170.
Oh, let's do a little slip and slide. Oh, wait, we're in the snow. What do we need to do? Oh, we've seen the Patriots doing this. Snow angels.
Yeah.
Snow angels.
So much fun.
Robert Kraft. All right. They're doing snow
Don't
angels.
get up.
All right, don't, please. And then they go to Bill wearing a ski mask with the hoodie.
Dog.
If that is the last image we see, I mean, what a time and what
The
a
masked
run.
man.
Yeah, and then Robert Kraft leaving, saying I'm out of here. But the conversation I found interesting was we'll talk to him tomorrow, Aaron Rodgers and Bill Belichick.
Man.
I mean, allegedly they talked for like 20 minutes before the game, and then after the game there was a mighty embrace.
Beeline to him. He shook Robert Sala's hand. Didn't even look at anybody else. Beeline for Rodgers.
With his mask on.
Mask on. And that was it. Right after
Also,
that,
Bill's
right
going
to
to
the
the
locker
Jets.
room.
Oh, you think Bill Belichick going back to the New York Jets?
What do you think,
Or
Shefty?
Pittsburgh to replace Tomlin.
Ooh.
Nah.
Whoa. I mean, there was a lot of people saying, hey, kind of full circle. If this is it for Bill, which I hope it's not, kind of full circle, leaves the Jets after being a coach for a day, all the way loses to the Jets in his last game in New England. There were a lot of conversation about that, but with that suite, I believe the first time ever in the history of the NFL, another head coach of another team decided to go and sit in the suite of Bob Kraft. Now, this man had a red jacket on because he was just inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame, which a lot of people say is the most exclusive Hall of Fame in the entire NFL.
Yeah, you don't even hear about it.
Exactly. You don't
Like
hear
this year,
about
we
it.
had no idea what was happening.
No idea. It just kind of popped up. Mike Vrabel and Jordo Schultz has reported, and he only reports the truth. Always have 100% accurate.
Yeah,
He
always.
says Vrabel is interested in maybe coming back to New England. Won't have to cut his dick off because he wants to do that to win a Super Bowl. That is his words, not mine.
Not ours, bussin'.
Yep. Yeah, he has said that. That is not hyperbole.
Journalism.
Is that something that has been kind of floating around your waters?
Question.
That is Vrabel definitely out of Tennessee? That's kind of out of nowhere, or what's going on?
No, I mean, we talked about it over the weekend, Sunday Countdown. Basically, I think people had assumed that Vrabel was safe. I think that there's been a lot of talk that he is interested in moving on. He's publicly said he's not, but there's been a lot of whispers otherwise. I think the team has had some questions about what's gone on there this year that they want to get addressed. And so they're going to get together at some point this week and figure out whether or not they want to continue with this relationship. But I think that one is unsettled, and that one is up in the air. And I know we want answers right now, like, oh, he's out or he's in, or
he's out. Sweet.
It's just not always that easy. It's fluid, right? Like, it changes. It changes.
Yeah, because there's humans involved. Is it from the time that A.J. Brown was traded during the draft when he got up and did this number, and then GM fired, new GM comes in?
Yep.
Like, when do you think this all kind of started for Vrabes to potentially think about moving on? And also, was that why Tannehill and Derrick Henry, and, like, last ride, boys?
I think when they moved on from John Robinson, I do think that Mike Vrabel had an idea of how he wanted the front office shaped and who would be the new general manager. I do think that he wanted Ryan Cowden to be the GM. I think that was his choice, and it didn't happen that way. And they hired Rand Carthon, who's very well liked and very well respected. And so whatever happens after that happens, but he didn't get the GM that he wanted initially. And so there's some sentiment and some residue off that.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, that would be a very easy reason why you would potentially not see. And obviously, Rand has his own idea on how the team's supposed to go as well. So it might be good for a fresh start. College or New England?
You got to figure out, okay, either we can figure this out and work together, or we can't.
That's a massive part of a lot of these moves that get made, right? Especially what's coming up in the hiring process.
Yeah, well, communication's a big part of it, and also, but every situation is different, right? Like in New England, I always say, I remember being in Denver for years, and Dan Reeves was an institution as a head coach. He was a legendary figure. He had been there so long, and the Broncos owner, Pat Bowlen, who was a great man, he fired him. And I remember saying to Pat, why you fired Dan? Dan's such a good football coach. What happened? And he goes, I wanted my team back. And you just get the sense sometimes, if that's the case, where Robert Kraft wants his team back.
Sheffield, you said some really serious stuff the last couple.
Loved it.
These last 3-4 sentences. Yeah. Real serious stuff about a lot of situations. Like Vrabel in the GM, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Now it makes a lot of sense, and it's like, all right, maybe a fresh start. Them talking about him to the Patriots.
Well, they said fresh start, and they said Patriots. Again, let's see how it all plays out before we're putting him with New England or anything like that.
Well, if he's leaving Tennessee, he's going to New England. Let's just get that out of the way. Is there another guy out of nowhere like a Mike McDaniel that people are really high on that no one knows about?
As a head coach?
Yeah, as a candidate.
Well, I think everybody knows. By the way, I like that pen.
That's Mike.
Read it, Mike. Say it. What's it say?
Say it. You should say it.
What's it say?
Yeah, you should say it. Read it.
What's it say?
2 words. 2 syllables.
Go ahead. I'll skip that. Smart man. Thank you. Yeah. I'm not going to sabotage myself here.
Especially today. Today's a pretty big chef day.
Huge.
Today's a big chef day.
They still call this Black Monday, or is it a new name?
Great question.
What do you call it?
I don't call it that.
Hey, why don't you say it?
What do you call it?
I call it coaching chaos.
Okay. Is there going to be? You talked about the 7 to 10. There's been 5 that have. Is there, besides Bill, is there more question marks still out there?
Well, there's a question of what happens in Tennessee.
Sure.
With Mike Vrabel. There's always a question with playoff teams. Like, there's always somebody that we talked about the idea that maybe Mike Tomlin could walk, potentially. Who knows? But there's always a playoff team that underachieves, disappoints, and then something could happen.
Mike McCarthy. That's what they've been talking about. Is that possible? That'd be a place.
Oh, Bill Belichick to the Dallas Cowboys.
You can't fire Big Mike after what he's done.
Yeah, especially with the man he is. All right, Shefty.
But it's an important postseason for them.
Very.
Okay.
Whoa.
Boom. That's what he does.
It's an important postseason for everybody. For everybody.
Oh, of course.
Every team.
What about Jim Harbaugh? What's he going to do?
Well, you know what he's going to do, AJ.
What he's going to do after tonight? Win the Natty.
I think he's going to. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, he does that, and then he's going to entertain his future and figure out what he wants to do.
What's the time frame you think between him saying, "Hey, I'm staying in Michigan," or boom, taking a new gig in the NFL?
Well, first of all, if he's going to the NFL, let's just say tomorrow, the Los Angeles Chargers wanted to hire him. There are new interview rules that have been put into place. You have to have 2 in-person minority interviews done with the Rooney Rule. And the league has really encouraged teams to make this a drawn-out process so that it's not a sham. And so even if the Chargers want to hire Jim Harbaugh tomorrow, that's not getting done. Just not happening tomorrow. Unless somehow they've interviewed people that we don't even know about and they're ready to make a move. Then they could do it. But
he's listening? You're saying he's listening, though, Jim?
Yeah, he can talk to anybody, and he could go interview with however many teams want to talk to him. So Could I see him talking to teams this week? Absolutely.
Yeah. That'd be crazy because Jim Harbaugh allegedly was linked to a couple NFL teams the last 2 off seasons, and then for some reason, one reason or another, they just kind of didn't happen. It's like, what took place? Was there a meeting where Harbaugh was like, I'm not doing this?
Minnesota, he went there. They had long discussions. At the end of the day, I think both sides decided, you know what?
Yeah, but what sweet metaphor did he use to describe the reasoning why they didn't get along?
They watched great documentaries about animals killing each other, and the Vikings had a more pacifist approach than Jim. Jim was more aggressive, and they were more passive, and I think it just didn't work out. What's going on?
That's an awesome thought, and that would be something that would happen with Coach Jim Harbaugh. One of the most fascinating humans of all time, great football coach. He spent time with us. Obviously, he leads the team you're cheering for tonight. We'll stay glued to your Twitter account. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Adam Schefter, great work, buddy.
Thank you, Shefty.
All right, Shefty, how many today, tomorrow, what is the normal timeline of this coaching chaos?
There's no timeline because we've got 5 already, and now
coaching chaos Monday, or is it just like the 3 days here? How long is coaching?
2 weeks.
It could be. I mean, I remember Marty Schottenheimer one year getting fired like in March after a 14-2 season.
Yeah, that was wild.
Hey, all these coaches, we appreciate what you did for the places you did it. Yeah. You lose your job, that absolutely stinks.
And there's the human element to this also. Let's not lose sight of that.
And there's also like guaranteed contracts for coaches. So I know you guys travel a lot. You got to work your ass off, and you get paid little to nothing at the beginning of the ranks, and then you work your way all the way up. There's only 32 NFL coaches. I think they all kind of understand the deal. They all kind of understand the deal. But it's not fun for anybody.
No.
Yeah, completely forgot. Shefty got so bad yesterday on Twitter with Greg Olson. Oh, my God. I don't know if you guys saw it. I had to bring it out.
You're talking about correcting him, right?
Community notes. Yeah, he got community noted yesterday. I just remembered.
I saw that. Yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah, well, not for Greg Olson, it was.
That was so funny. Yeah, I got community noted. It was great.
Is that what it's called? Like community noted? Placed on probation.
It's happened to us
It is a great addition.
You get community noted in the last few days or what?
Shefty, you've seen our show.
There was a baseball player who went to the Dodgers instead of the Yankees, yeah.
That was a goal of mine, to be community noted. I'm glad I finally achieved that goal.
Well, let's not do it too much.
Yeah,
Shefty,
exactly.
we need you to still be the guy at the top. We push. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Schefter.
Thank you, Shefty.
All right, joining us now via FaceTime is a man whose voice will be casted all over this national championship game this evening. A man who has been the voice of every big moment in college football for like the last 3 decades. Also the video game, people know him. And also Thursday Night Football voice for the NFL, kicking off every single week for the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Herbstreit.
Ready, Kirk?
Herbie! How you doing,
How
pal?
we doing?
Great.
How are you?
It's been a fantastic day. I don't know if you saw this. C.J. Stroud stopped by in the first hour. That's not good.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not... he said everything right, did everything right, got bigger, stronger, faster, was wearing his teammates' clothes on the show on purpose, made time out of his day to come say what's up and say thanks for saying kind things about, like, seems like the perfect guy. So things are great because we're at the national championship, but as a Colt fan and a Colt, like, investor, not fantastic that that's in the AFC South. Other than that, great, Herbie. Everything's great. How are you?
Yeah, that's going to be a long run with old CJ there in Houston.
Yeah, he credited, by the way, Ohio State and the big games and the things he's been through as one of the main reasons why he's been able to step into the NFL and have the success that he's had at such an early rate. Now, let's talk about a couple of the guys that are playing tonight that are probably going to be able to do the same exact thing. Let's start with Washington. We've covered this team all year, been incredibly fortunate to get to see their city, see their fans, see their setup with game day whenever we went out there. It was beautiful. It was awesome. It was electric. It was alive. It was beautiful. Do they have it tonight? 5.5-point dogs, Herbie, as you're going in to call the game. What are your thoughts?
Well, honestly, that's been a big rallying call of theirs. It seems like every game that we've done of Washington, they've been an underdog. I mean, imagine how they feel. They were an underdog at Oregon State in a game in Corvallis late in the year, a game we called. They were an underdog in the Pac-12 championship against a team they beat in Oregon. They rallied around that, felt disrespected. They were an underdog against Texas last week, went out and won that game. And it's only fitting that they're an underdog again, against Michigan. And that's not lost on them that people doubt them. I know Michigan has the shirt that says Michigan versus everybody. But I think what's great is Washington walks around with that same feeling. And I think a lot of it has both these teams have had a bit of a chip on their shoulder. They out to kind of prove everybody wrong. Michigan with all their distractions about Harbaugh and all the stuff you guys talked about earlier in the show. That's only brought them, galvanized them, I think, even
Journalism.
more. So I think that's what's great, dude. I don't know who's going to win, but I got like a 31-28 kind of game.
Okay.
I think both quarterbacks are going to play well. I don't know if that's an over or an under, but I got
60. It's 59. That'd be over. That'd be over, Herbie. Thinks there's going to be points. And I think the reason why you're thinking that is because, like, in the big moments, these teams have been able to do it. You look back to what Michigan did against that Alabama team, and you think about Blake Corum, and then go through their year like, they're battle-tested running if they have to against anybody. And it's explosive. I mean, Blake Corum, we saw him striding out numerous times. They formation the hell out of Alabama, so you know they're going to come prepared. And then you think about the other side, it's like Penix puts the ball in a key, like an actual keyhole. And every big moment this year that he's had to put it somewhere, he has. So I assume that continues tonight. There's no reason to doubt him. We're in for a good one here in Houston. D-But's got a question for you, Herbie.
Yeah, Pat just mentioned it, those two matchups. Obviously, the Michigan run game versus Washington defense, and then these receivers on Washington with Michael Penix slinging it. What are some other matchups that we need to keep an eye on tonight?
Well, I think what you're saying there is obviously two massive keys and who's going to win the football game. You know, I think if you get in the slot, I think that Jalen McMillan is a receiver. Rome Odunze gets most of the attention, number 1 for Washington, but number 11, who's only played, I think, 7 games this year, he's another NFL wide receiver. I don't want to compare him to 19 at LSU, but they are that type of team as far as a quarterback that doesn't miss when he has his feet set, and they've got so many different receivers. A big X factor to me is Dylan Johnson's health. You know, he led the FBS in rushing from, I think it was around November 1st on. He's forgotten about. Kind of like Clyde Edwards-Helaire that year with LSU. Everybody talked about, you know, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. Nobody really talks about Clyde Edwards-Helaire giving them balance. And I think Dylan Johnson's the same kind of X factor for what Washington can do. I think, you know, I think Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan, he's a first rounder, you know, future first rounder. He's only in his second year. He's going to get on islands a lot. How is he going to hold up? Is Michigan going to be able to keep a roof on top of that defense? They're going to use safety help, or will he be on islands? You know, I think that's kind of an interesting thing to watch. And then I think on the other side, you know, the offensive line, the tight ends for Michigan, you know, you alluded to the movement, the pre-snap movement. Man, that gave Alabama fits. One of the guys we did not see have an active opportunity to make plays, to me, is a guy we all love, Colston Loveland, 18.
Oh, yeah.
How will Washington match up against 18 from Michigan? I think could be another, if you're looking for a different kind of matchup to watch, I think that's a big one, because I think Michigan can make some big plays off play action, getting the ball to 18.
5.5-point favorites are the Michigan Wolverines. Very complete team.
Yep.
Kalen DeBoer said that you could tell by watching the film that what Jim Harbaugh wants is a physical team and a tough team. And they certainly are that. But the Washington team, they got the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line who protected Penix in beautiful fashion. That is going to be fun. Mason Graham, we saw him eat, and we saw him vibe, too. Hey, he was vibing with the Michigan fans at the Rose Bowl. Love his moxie.
Yes.
Love the cut of his jib. He lets that gut hang, too.
Oh, yeah. He does. Lets it hang.
Yeah, he does.
He goes with it.
He does.
Yeah.
He's a stud, man. We enjoy watching him. AJ's got a question for you, Herbie.
Kirk, I think the question everyone's wondering, who wins like the trenches battle? We know how great this offensive line is for Washington. The Michigan's D-line is just off the charts, how fast, physical, and with some veteran leadership. What do you think? How do you think that plays out early tonight, and who's going to win that battle?
Well, I don't know who won the Joe Moore Award.
Whoa, whoa. This is Joe Moore. Okay.
Joe Moore Award.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, putting that to the side just for a sec.
What's that, Joe Moore
What's he
Award?
saying?
Whoa, what's going on
You
here?
can't really do that.
He's a piece of metal.
He's saying the people who vote don't know ball?
Joe Moore.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay.
I'm just putting that to the side
Got
just
it.
for a second.
Great group.
Yeah.
International
Great group.
championship.
I love the award because I love offensive linemen. So that I think it's
Oh,
great.
yeah. Hey, go big guy. Hey, go. We love Joe Moore.
That's right.
Yeah. I think the interior of the Washington defense will be challenged in a great way against Mason Graham and company. Chris Jenkins is in there, Kenneth Grant. I think our cameras will be on that matchup a lot. I'm anxious to see that. You guys, if you've not seen him or studied him,
that's going to be a clip right there.
Yep. From Washington, you'll love him. 55, I'm going to give you his name there, Troy Fautanu.
There's a lot of names.
There's a lot of names, Irby.
Lot of names tonight.
Yeah. I'm doing meditation on that.
Ooses are killing it.
Yeah.
All over. Shout out, by the way. What an incredible group
Everywhere.
of humans. Incredible group of humans.
Also part of the team.
And 91, you want another matchup, 91. If there's one guy that maybe you haven't paid attention to or seen from Washington's defensive line, it'll be 91. I call him Tuli. His first name is Tuli.
Big Tuli.
And then it's Latuli Nasinoa. And he is an absolute handful in the interior. Can rush the quarterback, but really makes a living with his ability to get off blocks and is a great run defender. They're best by far. So that'll be another guy. But on paper, I'd probably give Michigan an edge in the trenches based on what I've seen throughout the year.
I'm excited for this to potentially be in a highlight film for a national champion Washington team or just forgotten about forever because the Michigan defense already feels that way about themselves. This show on ESPN will end. It'll continue on YouTube and ESPN Plus. The national championship tonight. We'll be live on the field. Herbie's in the booth. You can't lose. Tonight will be epic. Join us at about 5 o'clock Eastern. Nailed it.
Let's go.
Bingo.
That a baby.
Let's go.
5 o'clock Eastern is when College Game Day starts, but that's the national championship.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
No, you're good there. You're good.
I think I nailed it. And I think it's 5.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the central time zone, just 1 hour different, kind of fucks with you a little bit.
Yeah, it sucks a little bit.
It is because 2 hours is like a real change.
Exactly.
Like things are being aired, recorded.
Yeah.
Much different.
Bingo.
1 hour, you're just in it. You know what I mean? You're just it's not
Twilight's-
bad.
It's nice to live. I lived in the Central Time Zone for
Thing's the
9
best.
years in Green Bay. It is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it has been really good.
kinda nice,
The
isn't
day schedule is nice.
It doesn't change. It didn't alter your life. Like it alters your. It changes. You go 3 hours. That changes a lot.
yeah.
1 hour is just like, it's a little easier. Everything ends a little bit earlier.
So we go Central, Mountain, Pacific.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right? Central 1,
Fair.
Mountain 2. You've been doing a lot. How do you feel? National championship. Congratulations, by the way.
Wow.
Did it,
No,
Irby?
I feel great. I lived in Nashville for 11 years, and I lived in that, just like you were saying, AJ, I lived in that central time zone. And at first it was weird because I grew up my whole life in the Eastern. But I kind of adjusted to it, started to get used to it. I don't mind it at all. I kind of prefer it, that central time zone.
I think we're
but
all
I
kind of
stay
like
this
Yeah,
time of
we're
year.
good.
I stay Eastern time zone. I don't know how you do it when you travel.
Okay.
I just stay Eastern, no matter what time it is. Keep my brain always there. Helps
How
me
is
out.
the brain, buddy? You look good. This is the most
Look great.
in fit
So
shape
fit.
you've been, right? In a little bit,
Yeah.
at least at the end of a
I
season.
feel good. Like the big fellas helped me get
That
through
big
it.
Van.
There he is.
Van,
That's been good.
That's Chief Happiness Officer at the Rose Bowl.
Yep.
The chief happiness officer may be getting denied tonight.
What?
Oh.
Hold the phone.
Whoa.
Whose fault is it? Because
AQ.
that's huge for
AQ.
tonight's.
AQ
Is it one of the team's faults? Or
Did he dump on the Rose Bowl field?
Did he dump?
I'm
We did
gonna-
wonder.
No, Ben has been nothing but an absolute soldier all the way
Yeah.
through every
Stallion.
stadium he's been through. But I think the Texans are talking to the stadium folks. Is what I understand. Nick, I think
Casario?
Nick got involved with it a little bit. And
Wow.
Nick Cesario likes dogs.
Yeah, he loves
That's right.
dogs.
Loves him.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
Somebody done like Ben.
Yeah,
Somebody
we
done like a
figured that
dog
out.
representation.
In
What's
Texas?
that about?
What's that all about?
I don't love it.
Can't have that.
I think a dog was in there a couple weeks ago in their stadium and
Dumped.
attacked somebody, and I'm like,
Attacked?
dude,
That ain't Ben.
Ben
Hey,
ain't attacking
Ben.
nobody.
Well, I mean,
Oh, so it's the
he
Browns.
may, he may sleep, he may fall asleep on somebody, but he's not going to
It's the
attack.
Browns' fault.
Ben is the best dog I've ever seen. Just powerful. He's got a good build.
Yeah.
He does.
He's got
Great
power.
base.
He's like a majestic dog.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And he just comes into the conversation. Today we're living good in Houston.
Yeah.
We are living good in Houston. The rooms we were in are very, very, very kind.
Ridiculous.
Thank you so much to everybody that was a part of that. We had a full meeting in there, whole office. And then Ben comes in. He said hello to everybody. Just
He
came
did.
in,
Perfect.
joined a conversation with us, leaves, goes over to the kitchen area, talks to them. He's fantastic. Got a great dog. Been a great part of the story this year. Well, the NFL, lots happening, not a lot's happening. Allegedly, a lot of conversations. Schefter's on his phone like a madman. I mean, like a madman right now, checking it like every 14 seconds to see if anything's taking place. What are your thoughts on how the NFL season wrapped up? And also, congrats on finishing another NFL season.
Yeah, Herbie.
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. The broadcast itself continues to get more and more comfortable. The ratings are great. People are excited. I think the buzz is definitely there for Thursday Night Football, even though you guys like to have fun with some of the matchups that we get.
Not us.
What do you mean, you guys?
Who's you guys?
Mr. No Tie for Flacco.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something. That was a decision you made.
Who's taking it serious? Who's not?
Yeah, that's what we're wondering. You know, we're dialed in.
Put a tie
Always.
Every Thursday.
We're your biggest fans.
I don't decide on the ties. That's out of my jurisdiction.
Guilty by association, Kirk.
Are you not your own person?
Well,
No.
that's a funny
Me either.
I'm not.
But yeah, it was a great year for you guys. By all accounts, I think the games are better.
And man, one thing that's different, obviously, is 17 games. And, you look at a team like the Packers, or you look at some of these teams that are having a great year, like the Dolphins, and you start to think, okay, you start to get ahead of yourself. This team's not in. This team's going to be good. And then you watch teams like the Rams who get hot at the right time. And, you watched yesterday some of these teams that needed a win, and Green Bay finds a way to get it done. And it's just like, damn, all you need is punch your ticket and have a chance. And
That's right.
get some great matchups. The story with Buffalo, I know you guys have people on from the Bills, it seems like every week. I know you guys got to be fired up about what they were able to do last night. 6-6 into November, just lost to Philly in overtime. Their season's over. They win 5 in a row, end up winning the division. Yeah, I mean, there's so many good stories and so many matchups that I think are intriguing in the postseason. The Stafford matchup with with the Lions. I mean, that's an obvious one. And I'm torn there. I love Detroit. I loved him. I love Foxy and what his team's doing. But just watching the Rams, dude, late in the year, I was lucky enough to have them. There's a lot to like with that ball club. So
and Matthew Stafford. And Matthew Stafford and the boys on that offense.
As well as he ever has.
Unbelievable. Puka Nacua breaking records.
100 points scored in that one.
And cool.
They're all healthy. They're all healthy now, which they really weren't until like week 14, until they all were able to. Kyron Williams has brought so much energy to that offense, man. They're for real.
Yeah. Absolutely. Con Man's got a question for you.
Yeah, Herbie, how do you feel about the thought that, hey, Chiefs, Eagles, can't count them out. They're definitely going to be in it. They're Super Bowl last year. Do you think that still holds true, or do you think it is one of these years where, yeah, sure, they still have Mahomes and Hurts and, the Eagles O-line, all that, but they're just too different in that you actually could possibly count them out if you would because of how good the Ravens and the Niners are this year?
Nobody knows better than you, being a Patriots fan, how it's a different season when you get to the postseason. I mean, with those two quarterbacks, as bad as they've looked down the stretch, that they could light that wick at any moment and get hot. I mean, it feels like it feels like they're vulnerable. It feels like they could end up losing early, but especially Mahomes. I don't know. There's just something about that guy. If he gets all his pieces right and healthy. Couldn't you just see him getting on a little bit of a run when you're ready to forget about him? Especially, I would say Kansas City more than Philly for me. Philly's entire defense, and I know you guys were looking at that when I stepped in there, or Darius was breaking that down, just taking another peek at it. I can't really figure out what the heck has happened to that. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to have one or two guys, but an entire unit, that's bizarre to me. So I think they're legitimately in trouble.
Oh yeah.
I think Kansas City could catch fire at any moment.
Yeah, I think so too, because they have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. I mean, you just think do they have the capability to do it? Well, yeah, we've seen them do it before. Mm-hmm. We're in the middle of a dynasty, remember? Mm-hmm. They're still hosting a playoff game. It's like the interesting thing about the Chiefs is they was dead. I deemed them dead.
Yep. Yeah.
I deemed them dead. And I'm their biggest fan. I was really making up excuses.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, Patrick Mahomes was sick.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it was 70-mile-an-hour wins.
Exactly.
What do you expect from them? Of course they're not going to play their best football. And then it got to a point where it was like, I'm worried about these guys. I don't know if they have it.
We'll find out.
Playoff time.
Yeah.
Now we go.
We'll find
out.
out.
We go.
They have a defense, too, that they can lean on.
Sure.
Like you said, you mentioned that Philly defense everything is wrong with him. The tackling, the communication, the guys up front aren't getting after the passer, but it's flip side on the Kansas City side. DBs are great. Snead probably feels a certain type of way after being a Pro Bowl snub. Chris Jones, we know who he is. And Spags, four-time champ defensive coordinator, so he's definitely going to turn it up. Still concerned about the offense, though.
Whoa. I was just feeling so good.
Still concerned about the offense. Rasheed Rice has kind of stepped up and separated himself, I think, as a number one receiver. Travis Kelce missed last week, so we'll see how healthy and, how close to 100% he'll be. And obviously, you can never count on Patrick Mahomes, but it just hasn't been clicking all year long. And all of us are like, December, this is the time, this time. And it's like, do you just turn it on and the offense be great in January? We'll see.
You guys look so cool, by the way, on this set. Like, that shot
awesome.
of AJ, and look how professional that is.
Yeah,
Wow.
really cool.
It's
good lighting.
It's a great venue for us over here, overlooking the thing. Game day is going to be great.
Red might be your color.
Yeah, who knows? Oh, Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
Could be that. Did you see the ISO you had when you were asking a question?
No, I didn't.
Look at that.
Look at your eyeballs.
Wow.
Hair looks great today. That's awesome.
Does look really good.
Hey, these people have taken care of us. The game day folks have taken care of us all year, Herbie. Obviously, you know this crew.
Yeah. Is Roman there?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
he doing?
Oh, yeah.
He was on TV a couple times earlier today. He's
flicking you off right
Looks
now.
great.
Yeah, he's sitting there chuckling at his feet right there. Man who owns a coffee
He doesn't have
company.
a Nebraska. He got a Nebraska hat on.
He does not. He's
No.
yeah, he does
He's
actually.
kinda
It's his
punted.
coffee. It's his coffee company.
Boom.
In Omaha. Yeah.
Pause.
Dude, I think he's given up on Nebraska.
What?
He's
They're
just
turning it
it's
around.
been a
All
tough
right, good.
20
Hold on,
year
let's not
run.
be negative. It's national championship. It was a great college football year.
He just mouthed "fuck you."
Whoa, did he
I
really?
saw it. I saw
They
it.
just got
I
a
didn't
quarterback,
see
too.
that.
Didn't they just get a quarterback?
It's
Two of them.
They're done, unfortunately.
Hey, Herbie, legit though, congrats on an incredible college football season. You had a great one, pal. I know there was obviously incredible highs. There were some moments where, there were some people that disagreed with you for things that you said out of passion of college football. Thank you for doing what you did this year, pal.
Thank you, Herbie.
Thank you, Herbie.
Yeah. Thank you. What did I say out of passion?
Well, the Florida State thing,
Yeah.
Oh, that was more of an opinion, just kind of calm. Not
You were
really
right,
passionate.
so.
Okay, but I was talking about your passion for the games.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
that's,
yeah,
that was
sport.
it was good intention, passion of
Yeah,
college
yeah.
football. But obviously, the Florida State people did not take it that way. Can't wait to be in Ireland. You know what I mean? Can't wait. Can't wait.
Pumped.
But what a year! What a year!
What a year. How do you feel about your year?
Yeah.
A lot has happened here recently and makes you not really be able to think about the stuff that happened before.
Well, this year, this year,
2024 has been,
Yeah.
I would say, alive.
awesome.
Yeah.
I would say alive. I would say 2024 is certainly alive.
What? It's a lot. What? It's what?
Alive? Like,
Yep.
does it have a pulse? Is it bleeding?
Right. Let's play football.
It is alive. And that's okay, though. That's good. We're very lucky to do it. I'm very happy, though. I've enjoyed every moment of this season, genuinely. A lot more energy, I think, than I've ever had in the past. I think the baby girl has helped immensely, with the wife kicking it. It's been, I feel good. I've loved this season, man. College football had great
Unreal.
Great
all
season.
years. Great stories.
Friday live shows.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Committee got it right.
Yeah.
Yep.
We think.
Yeah.
For sure.
They did.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
the semifinals were fantastic.
Yep.
Both of them.
Congrats. Great college year.
Great job.
Yeah. You guys traveling every week next year? How you guys going to handle those Friday shows?
Kirk, why don't you just worry about your 6-month vacation coming up? All right?
Okay.
That starts tomorrow, by the way.
Don't say.
Jeez.
You don't say.
Hey, man, we can FaceTime you maybe next week.
Yeah,
there
I'm
we
gonna
go.
need you every
Yeah,
Tuesday.
FaceTime you. What about, Wednesday, middle of the
What?
day? What's going on? Let's check in with Herbie.
Yeah,
I
daily
think I'm
segment.
just gonna
Island.
hang. I'm gonna come over to Indy to the Thunderdome like a Tuesday and just hang out.
Sure.
That'll be
I can
one
take
week.
out the
Good day.
garbage. I can get the drinks. I can do
Right.
Jake's job. I'll go get the Starbucks. Whatever. Whatever you need me to do.
I mean, if you want to, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you not
We're
doing
not
the draft?
taking interns, but
Not doing the
maybe.
draft.
What about
this
the
year,
draft, Herbie?
Yeah, I'll stumble in there on what is it, Thursday?
It's a good move.
Yep.
Actually, will, too.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
He knows it.
I was just in Hawaii, actually. Watching film, of course.
What are you guys talking about?
You've earned it all, buddy. 28 years now, done? Is that what it is? 29.
28 after tonight. Yeah.
Wow. Keep going, Herbie. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice at tonight's national championship on ABC and ESPN.
And ESPN2 with you guys. So if
That's
they want to
not
have
the-
some fun, we got to use
not the main.
Cortez.
That's not the main.
Now's not the time to promote that.
No, please don't.
Because anybody that is watching, they're watching because of you right now, and they need not think that we are the main telecast. You know what I mean? Herbie?
I think they should if they want to have some fun.
No,
Kirk.
Herbie, here's the thing. I don't think you've ever got a chance to hear ours. You should not listen to ours.
No.
And the amount of work that you've done this week and this year to call the game alongside Fowler, like
Bingo.
one of the goats of this entire thing, like, yeah, that they should not be thinking that's the actual presentation of the national championship.
Yeah, I mean, he's dropping names, and most of the time when tackles happen, that was tackle by
really
number
Big Toolie. We got a tough angle down there. Tough to see everything from the end zone.
Yeah, we don't have a spotter. We don't have a spotter.
He's elevated. He
We're
got
in
there
there,
now.
though.
We don't have Big D.
We got Big D.
Better.
Send D down with us. Be our
Spot
spotter.
for us, yeah.
spotter. We need to be our ref.
All right, let's get out of here. Great season. We appreciate you and Ben, pal. Hell of a year.
All right, boys. Love you guys, man. Take care. We'll see you in a little bit.
Hey, we love you too, Herbie.
Love you, Kirk.
Love you,
Hey,
Herbie.
ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Herbstreit, buddy.
Herbie.
That's sign language for I love you, by the way,
It
made
is.
famous by both Big Ben Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers.
Right. What?
Tony.
One of them actually meant it.
What are you talking
What is that?
Whoa.
Who's the one?
7.
Aaron?
7.
Tone, jeez Louise. What just,
What, Aaron doesn't mean it?
what was that all
What about
about?
Andy
loves
Dalton
love.
did it
Maybe
too.
to half the
Oh,
crowd.
the Red Rocket, he didn't mean it?
We were talking about Green Bay?
Yeah.
What do you mean half crowd?
You know what
What
I
are you
mean.
talking about? You saying we last week?
Everyone wears tennis shoes, Pat.
Look at these seats. Look at these seats, Tone.
Yeah.
See the color of them? Is that what you're referring to?
yeah, yeah.
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 It's literally, actually,
Oh, okay.
Yep.
the seats that are
That
all
plays,
around
yeah.
us.
Uh-huh.
Is that what you've learned in the last week?
That plays, yeah.
Is that what you've learned?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They should have split that down the middle better.
What do you? They pretty much did, dude.
Maybe
It's a
red-
sandwich.
Well, if they just, I'm saying down the middle of the field, maybe put the red
And every
seats
once
on
in a
the
while,
left.
when we get dropped in there, buddy, I hate it so bad. I do. They hate each other.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Oh my God.
Forever.
That's on me. It is my fault. This is not a non-accountability operation. We're a part of it all, but boy, when we're in it, I want to let you know nobody's having a good time.
No.
No, nobody's having a good time.
Right.
Lot of mean things.
Yeah. A lot of
At all times, no matter
very
what.
mean things.
Some people live in that world, though. Can you imagine living if that was
How?
your every single day? We're just going to battle
Your teammate.
online.
Your
Anthony
teammate.
Gonzalez?
Yeah. You guys know
Well, he
somebody.
was trying to change the world, I think.
Well, that's what
That's
I think
right.
everybody in there.
Well,
I
I
think
don't know.
everybody in this thing.
Well,
I know
No, I don't think
Gonzo's
so.
intentions. I feel like I know Gonzo as a human. I don't know those other humans personally.
You're talking about just the people that actually run for political office.
Yeah.
I thought you were referring to everybody that is in the political conversation,
No, I'm
which
thinking
seems to be so many.
Not even that. I'm just thinking anybody that just loves to fight online all day. There's some people that's all they do.
That's the next 10 months.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Excited.
It's easy to stay out of it.
Hey, great time to get on TV.
Yeah, perfect
Yeah,
timing.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
JSPN, baby.
That's where we are. Let's get to a break.
Okay.
That just reminded me that we're going to have to.
Oh.
In my head right there,
Oh, yeah.
I was just thinking about, boy, there's going to be some athlete that's going to come. I mean, it's already starting to happen.
I was going to say, yeah, happened during the season.
And it's going to be in the off season. Those
You
are
should
stories.
just jump right into it. Just like you had that awesome sit down with these two coaches.
Yep.
I heard coaches just get a couple guys, couple candidates.
Sit down
both
with the
sides.
candidates.
Joe.
That's what I'm saying.
You.
Split
Good
face
lighting.
on screen, FaceTime.
You're moderating the
FaceTime.
debate. Yeah, you moderate a debate.
Host? No.
A
Host
sports one. A sports one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There should be. We like
Oh, political
sports
too.
feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll be the only thing we do.
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
There's a lot of issues
Figured
in
it
the
out.
sports world the president can change.
Yeah. Like Delaware, getting more players in like Flacco.
Blue Hens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be great if they were able to do that.
They should.
How about Joe Flacco? Stephen A. Smith was like, Joe Flacco can win a Super Bowl because we've seen him do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, C.J. Stroud, come on.
No
he
way.
ain't seen
Not a
CJ
chance.
throw a ball in person. man.
Ain't no damn rookie. I tell you that much.
No.
He's 45 years old,
Unbelievable.
wearing a Louis Vuitton beanie, though.
Yeah.
You know, a little reminder.
Yeah.
Dog. I'm a big fan of his. All right, let's get to a break. We will talk about this evening. We will also be joined by Reese Davis, host of College Game Day, which we have an episode today, 4 local, 5 Eastern, all the way up until about 30 minutes before kickoff, which then goes to the kickoff show, which I think is fantastic. So national championship starts 5 Eastern. Cannot wait, man.
Oh, yeah.
Pumped.
Cannot wait. What a joke, you know?
Unbelievable.
Absolute joke that we're a part of this entire thing. And we're going to try to enjoy it as much as possible, get as much information as possible. And then we're also obviously on Job Watch. Who has one, who doesn't?
Yep.
Who's potentially going to get one? There's a lot of names now being tossed out about, maybe. Like he just said Tomlin to L.A.
Commanders have already requested like 4 or 5 people, I feel like.
Yeah,
Johnson,
Both.
Glenn.
Yep, both Lions coordinators, Rams DC.
Hiring Bob Myers from the Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about
Cooking
that.
salt, right? To like go through the
On the
candidates.
No, to find the next Steph Curry of football.
Well,
That's
I'm
already
not
been
getting
cried.
into
What do you mean? Why not?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Steph,
We already
Steph
got him.
Curry.
Yeah, we already got him. He
Yep.
drafted one pick ahead of CJ.
Yeah, and he's changing the game like Steph.
You know, there's a chance.
He's
10
young.
there's a chance 10 years from now,
Yep.
Bryce Young has a career, and we all just completely forget about this year one, which has happened with a lot of greats.
Absolutely.
There's certainly a chance of that. But boy, not a lot has looked like promising down there. Is it on him? Is it on everything else? Can't blame him for everything else because they've been like this.
It is
exactly.
a clusterfuck.
How they fix it?
New head coach, new GM next
Probably
year.
new
so I'm
owner.
sure that'll-
Tepper.
Yeah,
needs
Tepper
to
needs
walk
to
himself.
sell
He
the
seems to be
team.
level-headed and kind of smooth and under control.
Well, except for when, he has a drink and then he's just like, you know what, that person looks thirsty.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Hey,
need
but
something.
didn't you think it was better that he threw it at the opposing like if he threw it at his own fans, then we really have a problem. Oh, see, I'd love that. That's what I was worried about. He threw it at one of his own. If he threw it at our own fans, no, it was the other team. Of course, the owner's passionate. That'd be so much better. If some fan sitting in front of his box, like, you fucked us. That's what I'm saying. You fucked us, Tepper.
Screaming to the stadium.
Yeah, screaming.
You just screamed through the
Bouncing off,
stadium.
bouncing off.
Yeah, right now.
No, it's Tepper. That wasn't me.
Fantasia.
That's Tepper.
It's a fan yelling at Tepper. That wasn't me yelling, you fucked us.
Fantasia's crew
Yeah.
down there.
They're all still
God
practicing.
damn it.
I love you, Fantasia. There, now she knows.
She's going to crush the national anthem.
Oh, yeah.
She did.
The Billy photos over here.
Just creepy.
Billy Toombs made a trip. He was flexing last night in that place a little bit.
Are all American Rejects doing the halftime show? God, I fucking hope so.
Yeah.
What's the song that you were trying to...
Oh, How's it it ends go? tonight. How's it go?
Let's hear it.
Well, do you want that one? Do you want Move Along? Do you want Dirty Little Secret? Like, they got so many bangs.
Move Along's the best.
Move Along's a good one. It's
What's the rhythm of it?
Move along, move along.
I know you do. Good song. Yeah, dude. Just keep it strong. Move along, like I know you do. Move along.
Darius, you ever walk by Hollister or Abercrombie and Fitch and hear that blaring out the door in the mall?
Do you know what Hollister and Abercrombie and Fitch are?
Come on. It was an era now where everybody was wearing that shit.
Well, that's what it is.
My daughter, my 15-year-old, still wearing it.
Oh,
Never wore it. Of course.
I never
Still
fit
wearing
in it. Their sizes. My legs couldn't fit in their shit. It was rude. It was very disgusting.
I don't
too
think
bad.
they make
Built
their
for
stuff
Foxy.
for fat people.
No.
Whoa.
Just like the guy from Lululemon said it. I didn't say it. He
You're
came
right.
out
He
and said,
did say
look,
something.
our shit ain't for everybody.
Yeah, he did.
Well, yeah, he said he saw some things. It was like, yeah.
Hey, look.
Fatso's not welcome, okay?
No.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. That's
No,
what
no,
I'm
just
saying.
reporting news.
We are observing,
Yeah.
reporting.
Yeah.
It's not Tubby Lemon. Lulu Lemon.
Which means skinny.
Yeah.
English.
Yeah, Lulu translates.
Speaking of
Swedish?
Skinny tone. You became
Thank you.
this football
I think
team.
everyone looks real pretty
Hey,
good.
Tony.
Compared to what we normally look like.
Yeah.
It might be Lulu.
It's Lulu, it is. Yeah.
Tony.
I couldn't fit in it last year.
Weren't allowed to wear it.
Yeah.
In the owner's eyes, you were not allowed to wear that about
Exactly.
6 months
I
ago.
called him.
Jesus
I
Christ.
sent him a
What the
naked
hell's
picture.
that fatso
What if
doing?
you were the one that did this?
Yeah.
No, I sent him a nude last week. I said, am I good now? And he said, yeah. Throw it
Oh,
on.
okay. So he gave you the
Yeah.
thumbs up that's on these FaceTimes now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
believe he did reach out to the Bass Pro Shop guy. Said, hey, don't you dare put on any Lululemon ever. For no matter what happens.
Where'd that guy's penis go?
That guy had a lot of courage.
Good question.
It's ice cold in there. It's ice cold.
It's the first documented button dick. Game day set. That's what's being said. I didn't come up with that. That's what's being said. What happened? For people that might not know, what happened?
Dude, when you mentioned it,
Some guy.
it took me a little bit to remember. And then I just saw the screenshot
yeah.
with the headline in my head.
yeah.
A man was obviously intoxicated on numerous things and was.
Oh, I thought he was
Swimming
sober
out of
for
Bass
real.
Pro Shops.
Yeah, he was naked. He was naked in a Bass Pro Shop.
Then he kind of hanging, kind of
See-through.
on his
For
feet a
those that
little
have
bit.
never been to Bass Pro Shop or at Cabela's,
They're sweet.
it's
They're awesome.
it's a museum. It's a zoo. It is awesome. It is fantastic. It is everything there, orderly but packed. It's like a perfect store, and there's a lot of sights. And normally there's like a waterfall that has like fish swimming.
Yep.
And, then they have some. And this particular Bass Pro Shops actually had a naked dude with a very small hammer.
Yeah.
Basically.
Not very small. We can't kind of shame
All right,
small
we got it,
penis
we got it, we
people.
got it.
This is a different.
Anyway.
The guy had a tiny dick.
All right, this guy is the worst thing.
yeah.
This guy
He's
is
a
the
micro
worst thing
penis.
that could have happened in this guy's life.
The micro penis.
Is what happened, which is a shame because he was certainly in the. I don't know how his life goes now.
It's over.
Anyways,
Famous.
let's get
It's
to a
over.
break. Hey, hope you get the help you need, pal.
Yeah.
Hope you get the help you need. Shouldn't be doing that.
No. To his credit, though, he shaved his bush and his pubes to try to give him
All right, let's get out of here.
Fighting chance.
Hour 3 will be on the other side. We got to talk about the Steelers, okay, in the playoffs.
Yep.
How'd that happen from just 7-8 weeks?
Don't let him get in, I said.
You did say that. You actually said after the bye something was going to happen and then we're going to get a playoffs just like we did last year or whatever.
There was some words in between there as well, but
yeah, you had some negativity, you had some changes there and there. The Buffalo Bills, a whole new team.
Yep.
And then nobody really talks about the 1 seeds like Ravens, Niners. I guess everybody's kind of comparing them to it. Like
next week.
When Stephen, yeah, we're not even going to be talking about them. It's fascinating because they're the big bad wolf.
Yeah.
Staring down next week.
Oh, yeah.
We got a great setup. This show is absurd. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. We should not be here, but we're thankful we are. Be your friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Take 5. Everybody's got Bryce Young, Will Levis, and Will Anderson above C.J. Stroud, allegedly. We will 1,000,000% continue to drive that narrative.
That is right.
Because with what my eyes seen, AJ, and what you have seen, if C.J. Stroud ends up at the Colts at number 4, I'm happy about the future of the Colts all of a sudden.
Yep.
So this will be the last time we say this. C.J. Stroud is the best quarterback in this draft class.
That's right, for sure.
We are massive fans of them. And whenever we say, whatever we say over the next few months before the draft, we would like it to not be held against us because we know we are a part of the entire system here. And we need C.J. Stroud and Indy.
Have to have him.
Plus, it's really fun to say Stroud.
Yeah. Yeah, we need him to go Dahn to the 4th pick.
Yeah,
Right.
you think they have to trade up? Because Texans are right there at 2, and, those are the 2 quarterbacks of the future.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's an opportunity and a chance for us to move, too. We got a lot of pieces to the puzzle that aren't necessarily going to be there in the future, probably. You bundle that with the 4 overall pick, I think you could maybe move up to 1.
Yeah.
And then you get C.J. Stroud.
Jalen Milroe often wears his own branded apparel reading LANK across the front. It's an acronym that stands for Let a Naysayer Know. Being told by his former offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien.
That is not what I thought.
Is that not what you thought?
Boy, let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer know.
Of course.
The professional's right in the middle of his lead. That's all right. I just keep going.
You almost lost me. It got real tight up here as you were. I just want to let you know.
Reese, you was too smooth with that. I thought it was going down. I thought it was going down out here. I looked over at Liz.
Oh, sorry about it. Let a naysayer know.
Let a
naysayer know. That's what we thought the whole time. That's what we all thought. Jayhawk, draining the shot. What's isolation?
It's 4 nights of complete darkness.
What?
Is there a bathroom or you wearing a diaper?
You
For
can
real?
bring-
Holy shit!
Explosive, the thing that really takes it over the top. Jesus fucking Christ. The thing that really takes it over the top.
Son of a bitch, Mad Mel. Get it together.
WWE champion. Oh, yeah, fucking right we did. Oh, I just said right there. There's the first one.
Yeah, that's right.
If you go like that, okay?
Oh, my God.
Boom, right there. His foot's on the fucking line.
Boom.
That's his foot on the line.
He's living out in L.A. He drives a sports car just to prove.
I pooped my pants on Monday, actually, a week ago today.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Say so. Say so.
Also, fuck Boston.
You gotta have a working toilet seat.
Can't tell which side is which. It's
crazy. It's a dead ringer.
I think I smoke meat very well.
Ask Schefter would I text him when he somehow got my number and texted me. I didn't respond to Diana Rossini, I think her name is. I would say the same thing that I told Schefter. Lose my number. Nice try.
My dad always said this. He said, boys, that's for show. Yeah. That's for dough. He said that one makes the girls cream, but that one puts food on the table. That's the work muscle.
Every single Thursday, we will be getting the incredible opportunity of chatting with head coach of Alabama, Nick Saban.
People are saying you look like the Wayans brothers with the white chicks.
Oh, no. I'd say it was like a specific person. It's just like, hey, this is a sweet mask that someone spent a lot of time on, I guess. And they had a lot of old man.
And I love deeper and AJ Hawk.
Whoa. Okay, here we go.
Oh, boy.
This is what I'm talking about. I'm trying to figure this whole situation out. Okay, we got a Zoom here. Yeah, congrats, we're on ESPN. Awesome, my camera almost worked.
Smoke sweeter and yeah, forgiveness I've been denied. That's Live Like You Were Dying. That's that song.
Good song.
That's how he wrote it, probably.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell through. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Mitt. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5. If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
It stinks.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you, Owen. I'm taking her on
And
the
also, fuck Boston.
You're the best. Owen, you're the best. I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes.
I didn't know 8.5 could do that. Is
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen.
New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He was making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little...
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Hey.
What? Let's go! This show sticks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport! NRG Stadium in Houston, home of the space program, where the impossible is made real. Missions are accomplished. We're back on National Championship Monday, Overreaction Monday on the Pat McAfee Show, alongside Ty Schmidt, Tone Diggs, Darius Butler, AJ Hawk, and the great Pat McAfee. I'm merely Reese Davis.
Oh my God, that was awesome. That was the most professional thing we've ever had on this program. Hey, we needed that after the last week, Reese. We needed that. I appreciate you so much. Obviously, today's a massive day for you, Reese, and also we appreciate your hospitability to us all year.
Absolutely.
You've been incredible to our crew, so we appreciate you, Reese.
I appreciate you guys. I mean, I got to go to the Thunderdome this year. We had a blast.
Yeah, but you worked when you were there. Like everything.
Yeah, but it was fun.
You were awesome for us and to us, and we will be very, very grateful. This college football season has been awesome, and I'm sure the boys will want to talk to you about that a little bit. But I want to talk about how we got to this point for these two teams. What incredible storylines we have with this Michigan team, with 2 suspensions happening to their head coach, who is their kind of blood, sweat, and tear of that team and representation of Michigan, man. I had a chance to chat with him where he said that's all he wanted. And the boys, after getting, losing back-to-back years in the playoff, wanted to come back and do it. And then this Washington team, no way. Kalen DeBoer's second year. Washington, they're going to lose sometime. Herbie brought it up. They were underdogs against Oregon State late in the year whenever they were very undefeated in showcasing potential college football playoff conversation early in the last year of the Pac-12. Both of them kind of been dotted. And here we are. And they got it right. Like, these are the 2 right teams at this exact moment. What a day, Reese. I'm very pumped about it all.
It's going to be a great game, I think. 2 contrasting styles, but both are really physical. The DeBoer story is fascinating because I said it when you and I were talking to the coaches yesterday. We've known Jim Harbaugh since he was the quarterback at Michigan, meaning collectively as a football public. We're learning about Kalen DeBoer. He, is a great player at the level at Sioux Falls. He won 3 national championships. He's been great in playoff settings. They've won 12 straight against AP-ranked teams, and they're 5-0 as an underdog. I mean, it's a tremendous matchup.
Strong team, and then Michigan. By the way, you did fantastic in that. Reese was wearing something very similar to this. Looked phenomenal.
Don't doubt it.
Always.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was rolling in there, hour and a half sleep.
Sure, wide.
Colts lost to the Houston Texans.
Wide.
And I was watching you sit down and talk to him, and I'm like, that's how a professional does it. And you've done that kind of all year for me, so I appreciate you. AJ has a question for you, Reese.
Reese, when you think about this game, we hear everyone talk about who's going to win the trenches. We know how great these lines are. I guess what's something else maybe that people aren't thinking about that you may be looking for tonight?
Secondary receivers, and I almost feel guilty saying that with Jalen McMillan, who's a great player, but everybody thinks about Odunze and Jalen Polt because they're over 1,000 yards, and I think Will Johnson from Michigan's the best corner in the country.
Ooh.
But you can't just have one guy. Will he follow Odunze? Will they be able to create matchups with McMillan? And that's the big thing to me is Michigan's answered questions. They hadn't seen a receiver like Harrison. They slowed him down enough. Hadn't seen a quarterback like Milroe. They shut him down. But they haven't seen the entire package that Washington can bring like they will tonight.
Ty has one for you, Reese.
Yeah, Reese, we've talked a lot about earlier in the show today and then kind of leading up to this point how Harbaugh has basically brought Michigan back, and they're relevant again. Not that they ever weren't, but they're the kind of Michigan team that people who know college football kind of expect every single year. Do you think what happens tonight, because I personally think that win or lose tonight, Michigan's back. Harbaugh has kind of accomplished his mission there, and then if he decides to go to the NFL, so be it. But if he does leave and they do lose tonight, and then let's say, they lose 6 games this year, do you think the job is done? Do you think Michigan has kind of been restored to the blue blood we know them as, or do you think they have to win this game tonight?
Both. I do think they've been restored. Nobody's won more games than Michigan. But part of Michigan's legacy, and their fans get mad when I say this, is not not accomplishing what they want to on this stage. I mean, they haven't even played for a national championship in the BCS in the college football playoff era. They split that one with Nebraska, which, those are semantics. They were national champions. I'm not trying to take that away. Prior to that, it was 1948.
That's a long time.
I mean, that's a long time.
And they love football.
Yeah, they need to plant the flag. They need to win the championship tonight. Doesn't mean they won't be good. Doesn't mean they're not a blue blood. But I think they really need to win tonight.
Darius has a question for you.
Yeah, I love both these running backs, Corum and Johnson. I know Johnson was, when we had the kind of red zone college football thing, I think he ran for like 200 against USC.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's kind of banged up, though. Any update on his injury coming into this game? How healthy is he?
What the coaches have said is he'll give it a go. And Dylan himself, I think, said to Pete Thamel that, he doesn't expect to be 100%, but good enough. He's got a knee and a foot on, on opposite sides, but tough guy. I think he'll play well. I don't know if he'll be 100%.
Knee and a foot maybe on the same side. Opposite sides, potentially.
Does the other side have a knee and a foot as well?
Well, it's too early to tell. Like Reese mentioned, I think he's going to give it a go in pregame warm-ups and kind of see how he feels. But at this point, it's really kind of a coin flip.
Pete, you got 2 knees, 2 ankles?
2 knees, 2 ankles, and some big boy pants that slide up around.
Big year for Pete. Dahn, what's your question?
Yeah, Reese, you kind of touched on it when AJ asked you the question, but all due respect to the Michigan schedule and to Talia Tagovailoa. That was not how you say that. Talia to his brother.
Talia.
You weren't even close.
And he'll go by Leah. You can just call him.
Tagovailoa, too. Have a little respect.
Gee.
Everyone just says Tua.
Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like one of the best quarterbacks
With
in the
all
league.
due respect to the Big Ten leading all-time passer, has Michigan played a good quarterback this year? A quarterback that can throw?
Not a complete one.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe is a good player. He's still a work in
Bo
progress. Oh, great point. Yeah, Bo Nix, but I.
What are you saying?
No, Bo Nix.
He ain't Michael Penix.
Now I'm confused.
Michigan played.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Michigan, right.
Sorry.
Not of this caliber. I mean, I think Talia is a really good player. A really good player. But Penix is first-round draft pick.
No, who was that guy, that Ohio kid who transferred to
Kyle McCord?
Penn State? Penn State's quarterback. Remember, he was spinning it.
Drew Aller.
Drew Aller. Yeah, they looked,
Hey, Michigan's defense is so good, though. I think that's what I saw whenever we were on the field. I don't think I expected it. And when we were playing Ohio State and we were there, it was like you could see it. You could kind of feel it. But I don't know if I fully comprehended it until I saw them against Bama. And that's 100% on me, not on anybody else. But it was like what they were able to do to Bama obviously gives them massive amounts of confidence. They're favored by 5.5 on ESPN Bet. How do you feel about that?
I would not lay points against Washington, but I think Michigan's going to win the game. AJ and I were talking about this before we came on. If Michigan hadn't screwed up the fielding the punts, snapping the extra point, that might have been a 17-point game. Michigan controlled that game. I even said the other day, try out a little humor, but I know I shouldn't do this, but if Alabama had won, they wouldn't have been able to come to the game. They would have been arrested for grand larceny. I mean, it would have been one of the biggest thefts of all time.
Hey, that was a good joke,
I mean,
though.
Michigan controlled that game, and I think they'll take a lot of, as AJ said, take a lot of confidence from that.
Well, and how about overtime, too? Just,
Yeah.
it kind of adds to the whole Michigan story about, something happening, self-inflicted almost, and then just rising to the occasion. They let Bama get back into that game. We get to overtime. Obviously, they have to earn their way back into overtime and just want over.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Close the door.
And then we're going to stop it. That's not. We thought we were potentially in for a 2-3, because normally a field goal on that first one, both defenses kind of make a stop. We get to the next one. It was just like, nope, it's over. They're riding that. The Michigan team, what a phenomenal story if they were able to close it out.
Yeah.
And then now the future of Harbaugh is immediately discussion as soon as it's over, which is a wild thing. And even if they lose it. And then if Washington wins and Kalen DeBoer's second ever season as he goes into the Big Ten.
Incredible.
Whoa, future college football is very bright, Reese. And I think we all agree with that.
We need personalities in the game. Kalen's a much different personality than Jim, for sure. But we need guys who are strong centerpieces. That's why I'd love to see Harbaugh stay in college football. I've got my doubts about that, but I hope he does. I want guys to stay in our sport that are big personalities and are cornerstone guys.
You're the man. You've had an incredible year.
Thank you, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, the maybe the most classy professional human, though, that I've ever met. You know, still a human, not like a robot.
Tough to do. Can have a beer with the guy.
Impossible to do.
Yeah.
Legit. And then you just let me cut you off last week, too. Which is very nice of you.
I had no idea. No.
We know.
Yeah, I
All
know.
the time. All
I
the
can't
time.
imagine the number of people who thought that I was like playing some game. I was like, yeah, no. I thought it was some type of sexual sling. I didn't know.
Okay.
That's what I
All right.
thought.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting angle, I guess.
I didn't know.
But
Now I do.
I love
That
the
won't
fact.
happen again.
I love the fact, though, that you didn't like try to fake.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody knew you didn't know.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's
why it was awesome.
That's why it was awesome. And that's why, like, you're Reese Davis and you're incredible. And also, so focused, you know? You're able to just adjust, open up, and then, okay. All right, I don't know exactly what just happened, but anyways, right back to it.
I just went, I told my kids I went into dad mode. I was like, you guys finished? Okay. All right. Here we go. You know,
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Reese Davis.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, guys. Have a good one.
I'm going to head back over. That was fun. Thank you for opening the hour for us. Now we're going to all play.
Musical chairs.
Uh-huh.
Good job.
Oh, good job. How about that? Thank you.
Thank you, Reese.
Thank you, Reese.
This chair is significantly shorter.
He's so good, Reese. Mine?
This one right here.
What's that all about? Those are your notes. Okay, I saw little notes on there. All times in Central Standard Time.
Yep.
Right there at the bottom. As I was sitting, I'm like, oh, whose notes are these? And I had to do the math. I'm like, this is Tone. Good idea. Good reminder. We had another discussion earlier today whenever we were making it. Because when we look at our phone, it'll be this time. Even though all brain normally stays in the Eastern time.
Yes.
How about this time, where we're just hours away from a national champion playing against an opponent that'll say they made it to the Natty.
Yeah.
Michigan favored by 5.5. The Washington Huskies have been a team that have been doubted all season long. Michael Penix Jr. did not win the Heisman.
No.
But he did win the hearts of his entire locker room in leading them to an undefeated season in the final year of the Pac-12. We think there was a time in the middle of the season there towards the end where Michael Penix was a little bit banged up, a little bit more injured than maybe people were talking about. Maybe that's why his play dropped just a little bit that then led to everybody saying, not a Heisman, not a Heisman. Even though, if you recall, he had 3 wide receivers that were going for over 100 yards for numerous weeks. 2 of them end up going for over 1,000. McMillan had an injury that kept him out of some games. That's the only reason why they didn't have 3. They started getting a running game going in about November. Was that the time, you know, whenever they became a full and complete team and started believing that they can make it to the national championship? I believe so. And I believe tonight we're in for a great one. And this stadium gets very loud. So it should be ridiculous to watch on TV. And we get to be here, which is just the dumbest thing of all time, Tom.
Yeah, you talked about the running game in November, too, and I was like thinking, did they have to do that? Because there was a point there where Penix wasn't, like his completion percentage wasn't what it was, like the first 7 or 8 games or whatever. And then the last game against Texas, it looked like he looked healthy again. Like, I felt like there was that last month of the season, he may not have been fully healthy, but he looked very, very healthy, and he looked like he had the zip on the ball again than he did early in the season.
We don't know if it's as much as Zappy or way more than zip on the ball Zappy.
No
but
way.
this is what it looked like at the beginning of the season every single game. And to be honest, this is what it's looked like a lot whenever Michael Penix Jr. has been in this offense. Whenever he was at Indiana, they were a problem. Kalen DeBoer was there. He was there. That's where they developed a relationship. And then a few years later, Kalen DeBoer gets a head coaching opportunity at Washington, and Michael Penix transfers out of Indiana, which was a bummer because it was a great time to watch him play in the Big Ten and in Bloomington. He goes over to Washington. Nobody really has any clue what to expect. It wasn't being talked about as, oh, this could be a college football landscape changing transfer. This could be a quarterback that changes the trajectory of an entire school, an entire program, an entire transition into a brand new conference like the Big Ten. That is what it has become, clearly, very quickly, Tashman.
How much do you think this game matters for his draft stock? Like, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. Like, if he goes out there tonight and throws 5 touchdowns and has like another 400-yard game, is he a top 5 guy? Like, do you think this game matters at all in terms of where he's going to be drafted?
I believe so, especially with it being against Michigan, obviously a blue blood program, but top defense in the nation when it comes to stopping guys on defense. So obviously, I think Penix at this point, he's going to be one of those quarterbacks where they're picking apart everything, and he's on the biggest stage tonight, so it'll be huge. 2
ACLs, still able to move, had some banged up injuries this year, and maybe even a flu. Nice transition to the NFL. Yesterday, a guy who's friends with the program was not happy on a football field.
No, he wasn't.
Head coach of the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons,
Artie Smith had joined us a lot this year.
Yeah.
And I think we all envisioned the Falcons season to go a little bit better.
Hoping.
And we were hoping to enjoy the entire run alongside Coach Artie Smith. But I'll tell you what, the way his era ended in Atlanta was spectacular as a spectator. He walked over to Dennis Allen. I believe he told him to fuck off a couple times. Fuck you. Why are you fucking doing that? Fuck you. That's Bush League. That's amateur. That's disrespectful. Why don't you spit in my face then, Dennis Allen? You pig. You just disrespected all the football gods. You might as well have picked up Lombo from his grave and spit on him
That's right.
with what you just did. Now, there's a developing story.
Whoa.
Yeah, there is.
Dennis Allen, the head coach of the Saints, the man who was being accused of potentially disrespecting football since football was created, is allegedly in the clear.
Yeah. You can say that.
He did call for a victory formation, kneel down. But there was one man that had to pull.
Tony.
Snorting. He did.
This
You
guy,
did.
this guy, go ahead.
This guy had a pulse of an entire team, an entire group. And they're a democracy down there.
That's right.
And he made a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the quarterback at the time, Jameis Winston, is basically the alibi for Dennis Allen in this Artie Smith, I'm going to punch you in the fucking mouth saga that happened at the end of this rivalry game. Here's Jameis Winston discussing the situation that took place.
Well, I apologize to DA because the play was victory. But I also explained to DA that it was a team decision. And I think when you have a team morale, and I asked the guys, I say, guys, like, what do you want to do? We know how much Jamal means to this team, and I understood from DA's perspective. So I give him that. But DA didn't condone that at all. You know, he didn't. However, we decided as a team to do it, and man, we got an interception to the 1 yard line. You know, like. So if we would have scored, would it still would have been disrespectful? Right. You know. So
Tyron wasn't in on it, was he?
No, Tyron was not in there.
No, I'm just kidding.
Like it was an offensive team discussion. However, when you return the ball to the 1 yard line and you have that opportunity, we just had that opportunity, and we decided.
Do you think it's the kind of thing though that is forgotten fairly quickly, or you know what I mean? Like,
I think it should be forgotten, especially when the score is already 41-17. So I don't know how much worse it can get. But I got a ton of respect for Arthur Smith and the coach that he is. I think they do some incredible things. I didn't want to disrespect him. That was not my intention. My intention was to lead the team that I've been with the entire year, and we made a collective decision that we wanted to get one of our guys who they fight with blood, sweat, and tears every game in the end zone. And I'm going to feel good about that.
All right, boys. Coach called victory, but Jamal, you scored a touchdown yet this year?
No.
We know that, right? Dive? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Touchdown, Jamal. Let's go.
Let's go.
Is that what happened out there? I absolutely love it, if that's the case.
Sounds like it.
And Jameis just trying to be like, listen, Arthur, sorry about it. Had to do it. And Arthur probably heard the explanation. Oh, I get it, all right. But he's out of a job. And that's how the tenure ended. Darius Butler. What a wild scene down there.
Yeah, that's tough. We all know kind of some of the unwritten rules, you know, running up the score, getting to the 1 yard line. But this was hilarious to watch. And then on the heels of, Jair Alexander a couple weeks ago saying, hey, the boys had my back. This is kind of a similar situation.
That's probably where Jameis got the idea.
Yeah, I talked to my teams, and we were on the same page. Yeah, he called victory, but fuck it. You had 17 touchdowns last year. Let's get him in the end zone this year. We had the opportunity. Hey, how bad could it get? It's already 41-17. So I kind of love it. It's entertaining.
I like that Artie Smith was about to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He forgot completely. Okay, camera's gonna be. Or maybe he knew.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to disrespect me and my team like
Watch
that?
watch the black coach behind him though, real quick, just like bitch ass motherfucker.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was about to become a team affair. There's a special teams coordinator for the Saints there on the left side with the gold hat. Should remember his name, but he was getting in there. Summers, there was a player that walked by at one point, was thinking about talking to both coaches and said, you know what, I'm gonna keep it moving.
Yeah, good.
I'm gonna keep moving here, but we don't get to see that a lot. Schwartz, right?
Yeah,
Schwartz
with the back pat.
Yeah, Harbaugh and Vrabes.
Yeah.
Remember a couple years back, there was a potential little
It's
situation.
usually not as over the top. We saw Artie Smith. He's walking. He's at the hash. He's already yelling at him. Like he was ready. Like he's not trying to hide anything.
Non-talented lip readers saw what was taking place.
Yeah, figured it out.
But I mean, this is Saints Falcons. Like this is the disrespectful shit I live for. Like, you want rivalries in the NFL, and it does suck for Arthur. Like, we all are bummed out that that's how it happened. But
bummed out,
very bummed out.
Well,
But
I'm bummed out.
you don't think that Arthur Smith, when that's happened, is thinking, I'm the son of a Marine. You think I'm just gonna?
Yeah.
You think I'm just gonna let this happen and not go up to DA and let DA know, hey, I should smack you in the fucking mouth for what you just did to my boys? Because the Falcons, I mean, as tough as the season has been, the defense has kind of been the, hey, we need to lean on you a little bit here with what's going on the Falcons' offensive side. I felt bad for him, but hey, maybe Arthur Smith. If there's a vacancy in New England, maybe Arthur Smith says, I'm going to take my talents up to Boston, get those boys back in shape up there.
Okay, so you want Robert Kraft to interview Arthur Smith for the head coaching role of the New England Patriots?
I want Robert Kraft, if that role is open, which I hope is not, to get Vrabel back on his plane, back out to New England. And I want Vrabel to say, you know what, when we were the 1 seed in the AFC, who's the offensive coordinator of that team? Arthur fucking Smith. Bring him back up there. Artie Smith can draft his guy in the first round, because as much as everyone's been talking about, hey, Arthur Smith, he had 3 top 10 picks in every single draft. I mean, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson, those are good players. Those are good boys. Did they have a quarterback to get them the rock?
Boy, it got loud for him, huh?
Yeah, I'd say.
Desmond Ritter got
Artie
real
doesn't
loud.
really hide his emotions on the sideline when Ritter messes up.
I'm trying to be professional, but I just can't. How do we do that? How is that the decision that's made? And then he moves on. And now a head coaching job is lost, and he'll be described as a failure as a head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. And I assume if you ask him, he's saying, can we have C.J. Stroud one time?
Is that possible?
Yeah. That'd be a lot of fun if we could have C.J. Stroud. I think that's what every coach is basically thinking.
I mean,
at every single role in football is, do we have a quarterback or do we not?
But they had an opportunity to go out and at least try to get some quarterbacks.
They did. Remember, they went all in for
Deshaun. But that was it.
He was basically there.
Try to get
Lamar was right there.
They had opportunity to draft one, up in the
Lamar.
draft, So, I mean, they had the opportunity. And as that head coach, you got to get that position right. We all know that. And I think a little icing on the cake that makes him a little more pissed off, that he's making that walk that pissed off without the mustache. I think it made it like 10 times worse.
You think he lost intimidation factor?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
DA was still...
Nah.
DA kind of grabbing him, like kind of help. You could tell early on something is up, because DA is not coming back at him with that same aggression.
No,
so he kind of
DA
held
knew.
him.
Yeah,
so we knew something was up.
Jameis.
He said it was Jameis.
That's
Jameis
wild.
did it.
Victory, dive in victory formation.
Yeah, the fact that Jameis didn't put him into like
an eye
in formation, like, hey, we're gonna stay victory.
It was in victory.
Run that play again. Run that play again. They almost run the tush push.
But
You line up in a regular formation, that's one thing. But
Okay, so here's the setup. Desmond Ritter, pick, Tyrann Mathieu. The Honey Badger does it again.
63. Is that Lindstrom?
Yeah, that's Lindstrom. Still giving it.
I mean, that's absolute effort there. And remember, Artie Smith and the offensive linemen were always very tight. And offensive lineman chased down Tyrann Mathieu. He's okay. Then we're running tush push formation out of victory formation. And look at Jameson celebrate.
Big fist pump.
Jameis Wilson.
I don't think Taysom voted for the touchdown. I don't think Taysom voted for the touchdown.
He was not happy.
I wish Jameis just took it himself.
Oh, man.
I mean, 86.
Look at how happy they are, though. McCoy, remember, he was about to fight Derek Carr.
Uh-huh.
And now he's jacked up. That's good locker room morale.
That's right.
Jameis
Davis
said,
was celebrating a Super Bowl touchdown.
Jameis said, I told him. DA told me what he wanted, and I told him.
Yep.
We voted.
He didn't condone what I did, but
however,
Yeah.
Williams is from here. Coach didn't know that.
Okay. So speaking of, Jair Alexander was in a news clip, dancing, having a good time, put his sunglasses on after the Green Bay Packers punched their ticket to the playoffs after a massive win. A.J. Hawk, obviously the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
Your heart still bleeds. Green and yellow. Green and yellow.
Green and yellow.
Green and yellow.
Green and gold, yeah.
So
What?
Because Pittsburgh, same thing with black and yellow.
It's black and gold, yeah.
Yeah, it's the G and G, green and gold.
Right.
Okay, so the green and gold.
Yeah.
How do you feel about what they've done? Because I have to say, obviously, as a person that has spoken about the situation a lot, I thought it was very aggressive to just be like, you know what? We did it before. We'll be able to do it again, even though it's an entirely new cast of characters that we have no idea if they're able to make the same decision. We see buildings all over the place fuck things up that they wouldn't have done in the past. Why? Because it's a whole new regime. We talk about a whole new building, pretty much. This Jordan Love pick, they go from Brett to Aaron, seemingly right to Jordan Love. And this is his first year playing. Now, I know he's been in the NFL 4 years, but it's still his first year, like, learning defenses, having a chance to do recall. Like, oh, this happened in week 5. I can remember this in week 17, let alone whenever you're in your 3rd or 4th year. That's why what C.J. Stroud's doing is absolutely remarkable. But, like, they hit on Jordan Love.
He looks so good.
I think what's more impressive is how he's kind of weathered the storm. Like, think how many times, going back to training camp, we saw him, like, the clip comes out of him missing the net in their little drills they used to do, where you see Aaron hitting him all the time. All the little stuff like that, he never really got caught up in it. How many times were they written off, too? Like, oh, Packers stink. People are saying they're no good. Like, that whole roller coaster all year long, he's heard that, and he's kind of shouldered it, and he just keeps playing well, especially when they need it. So that's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, I understand they got a tough test in Dallas in the playoffs, but you definitely can't count this team out.
Ty, how excited are you?
I mean, I honestly couldn't be more
Look at that ball there on the run,
Unreal.
flips the hips.
The one with
drops it
2
in.
minutes left that iced the game was like, that was an all-time, like, Packers quarterback. No, not this one. It's the next one. But, like, that's an all-time Packers quarterback play.
Yeah. Well, and that's like Musgrave is a guy, or Tucker Kraft is a guy who, like, same deal. He's a rookie. You know, the guys that they've relied on, who it's just like, hey, we don't really have a choice. Like, you guys have to be good. You have to develop, and they have. And obviously, a lot of people were sending, the clip of me on draft night when Jordan Love got drafted. But we've talked about it 1,000 times. Like, it was never really about that. It was just being so close and then deciding to draft a quarterback. But shit, how can you fault him? I mean, they've done it 2 times now. It's worked. And yeah, like he's second in the NFL in touchdown passes this year, and he has just
coming off an NFC championship. You get one more piece. They give up 180 yards before contact on the defensive side of the ball in that NFC championship game, and then you trade up and get a quarterback in the first round. It's like, all right, we're not trying to make it to a Super Bowl right now, but then they said, be patient, grasshopper. That's what they said. Yeah. And then here we are, and they got it again, deep.
That's been their MO. Draft a quarterback when you don't need one. And we've seen how many backups have had to play this season, how many guys are dependent on backups even going into the playoffs. But his development this year, and sitting behind, I'm sure Aaron sitting behind Brett helped him a ton, and Jordan just seeing that process that Aaron went through every day, every week, and now he gets the full arsenal. It's his turn. And you mentioned all these young guys that he's dependent on too, whether it's Dobbs, Watson has missed a ton of time, backs haven't been there. This offensive line has played lights out, especially after losing Bach. They've played lights out. I think since week 11 now, we'll be up to 18 touchdowns, 1 interception in the National Football League. That's unbelievable for a 4th-year quarterback.
And that's been the most fun part, is like watching some of those throws and being like, oh shit, you can see Rodgers in that. Like he always had like the talent, and his arm is insane, but to actually see him in, again, like that is the biggest game of his life, bar none, and he played arguably his best game of the year. And for a lot of those passes, it's like, oh shit, you can see Rodgers in that. Like it's just insane.
Congratulations to the Green Bay Packers fans, seemingly getting another 15 years.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah, people are. What's so funny, AJ?
No, it's amazing if that's what we're looking at right now.
Yeah,
it's true. We're looking. I lived through I was on the team from the transition from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, man, this is pretty amazing. I got to play with 2 studs, and now if they actually hit again, which it looks like they did. Credit to them, man.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
And good for the fans getting an opportunity to experience that. There's a lot of places that have not, so they get it right. Congrats to Goody saying, you know what, this is the guy. Because every year there's guys.
Yeah.
And this draft season, we're going to hype up somebody that.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe they're all good this year.
This year they're all going to be good.
You're right.
Maybe this is the year.
This year,
what am I even talking about?
The guy we hyped up last year, he's panning out. C.J. Stroud.
Then he's coming in here talking his shit.
I respect it.
Love it.
Oh, he mad. That's the first thing he said. All right, CJ.
Come on.
Congrats on being a humble champion.
In the Stroud house.
All right, as we close it down here, live from NRG Stadium, this has been a wonderful day thus far, and it's only getting started. Game day kicks off the National Championship 5 Eastern. That is going to be a good show. There is...
Jacked.
They have some incredible people. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Super talented people at College Game Day. Very lucky to have worked alongside of them. We are very lucky to have worked alongside everybody here throughout this entire college football season. Thank you so much for all the extra work. You know what I mean? Hard work. And also being like good spirits.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Everyone's awesome.
Absolutely.
Super positive. That has a big impact.
Huge deal.
Incredible.
Being good vibes, especially during a season whenever you're traveling all over the place. These people have been spectacular for us. And shout out to college football, man.
Great year.
What a season.
So good.
Thank you to college football.
Yep.
Yeah, for everything.
There's some absurd things that took place. We're in the middle of the hills of Virginia, the JMU.
Yeah. So for one of the craziest atmospheres ever.
Of all time. Got to see the Joe Bros do their thing just feet away.
Exactly.
Boulder.
Utah.
The Rock coming
Dwayne
in.
Johnson drinking tequila with Dwayne Johnson.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame was awesome. We forget about that one. That was a great crowd.
You went in the crowd and got molested as they did push-ups on. They used you.
That was an interesting thing. I don't think I knew what I thought they were going to flip me over. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
No,
They did. They flipped you back
worse.
over on the right side.
Watch it. Watch it.
Got your hands
On
in there.
Saturday, there was people back to touchdown Jesus.
What's that?
Well, you guys would keep coming back from break,
Yeah.
and they would show the sky cam shot, and there was people all the way. It was packed all the way back to touchdown Jesus.
Cat bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the game day.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Saturday at like the Colts Stadium right there. You're talking about game day at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So
Insane.
good.
That place was beautiful.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
God.
You know, we talked about Washington earlier. That was cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mountain. There's a mountain.
Mount Rainier.
Is that what it was? Right, like as you're driving through the city, it's just like these buildings part, and it's like you just see it in the background.
Yeah.
That's majestic. And then they were up at 3 a.m. How about the college kicker? We had this kid's kicking.
Oh, yeah.
Kicking.
Grayson made it, right? I think he was the one who made it second
On
attempt.
second attempt,
Yeah,
yeah.
fucking Utah. We forgot about
Oh,
Utah,
my
too.
God. Old buddy came in a fucking motorcycle.
Oh,
Yes.
that was so sick.
Sweet.
Forgot all about that.
One of your new best friends from Utah because we went to Utah.
Oh, yeah, let's go Jazz.
Let's go Jazz.
Let's go Jazz. Man, what a year.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
We'll do overreactions tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably a good move.
Feels right. You could probably add some from
Yeah,
me, too.
squeeze a couple in for the night, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
We'll say it shall continue. Let's pop up one, though. Ty search and found some.
Yeah.
One overreaction from this morning. Austin Penny, hashtag I don't want to overreact, but the Dolphins shouldn't pay Tua. He has yet to show up when it matters the most, and with how expensive quarterbacks are nowadays, it'd be Ryan Tannehill 2.0 situation.
Damn.
Remember, he got paid down to the Miami Dolphins before Andrew Luck got paid at the Indianapolis Colts. And I thought to myself, damn, that's what Tannehill's getting. They're going to have to give a percentage of the team to Andrew Luck because what he's already accomplished. We'd already been to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
He had already been in conversations for everything. He led our team. He was the face of our franchise. And they paid Tannehill. They hadn't really done that yet in Miami. He would then go on to Tennessee, have a great career, which seemingly is over.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what yesterday felt like.
Yeah,
Got a couple
certainly
bags.
And that entire thing. But are the Dolphins dead, dude? Is it Joe Bo over?
Is it Tua Tonga over?
Over.
Still in the dance, and I honestly
Dan Marino.
Sorry, Uncle Dan, but I do prefer
Mike
this matchup
McDover?
against the Chiefs over the Bills again, honestly. And I understand. Was that Ryan? That was his name. I understand where he's coming from. You know what you pay? You got to pay Tua $40+ million most likely. But what is your alternative outside of Tua? You're never going to be drafted in the top 5. top
Mike
10.
White.
You shouldn't throw to Chase Claypool on the last drive of the game.
I agree. There's a lot throwing double coverage to try to get him his 6th reception of the season. Probably not a great decision. So, but second year in Mike McDaniel's system, it can only get better from here.
I will say a pretty hilarious stat I saw while waiting. The New England Patriots beat more teams over 500 than the Miami Dolphins this year.
Let's go to a man who's currently in
didn't
the
need
truck, but down in the dumps, potentially in a trunk. This man's had a rough couple weeks back to back while we're on the road watching his team kind of just blow it.
Yeah.
So many injuries everywhere. Gumpy, what are your thoughts on everybody basically saying it's Joe Bover for the Miami Dolphins?
It's about as close to Joe Bover as it could get.
no.
I mean, we're still in the playoffs, but we got nobody left. We got to sign Frank Clark, Justin Houston, maybe Sue. Like, we have nobody left on defense, and they still balled out, and we still could have been up 2 scores. Offense doesn't do a damn thing in the second half.
Hey, great work back there today, boys.
Good work, boys.
Gumpy sitting in for Ziti Baby. Ziti Baby's got a lot going on. We miss you out here, Zito. All good?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All good. Nick, good work out there. Your hair looked phenomenal. Look at the growth on that hair.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Was the All-American Rejects, was that the...
Guys in early 2000s.
Because they had that long hair.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. You look a real rock star.
Nickelback.
Real rock star, Nick.
Some Scott Stapp.
Oh, yeah, I do tribute to Scott Stapp.
Are they playing tonight?
They should be.
Better.
So, yeah, I think they are.
Should have came and performed at
He's
that
coming-
spot we were
he's-
at last night.
I'll tell you
Yeah, where'd they
what,
perform
there was
last
a performance last night. Do we
Wow.
know who was singing?
No.
They were
It was an
awesome.
R&B night, though, live R&B.
And then as soon as 9:30 happened, off Boosie went right in. And I did not expect that transition, but it was a good one.
So nice. I mean, they had. I've never seen this before in a kind of bar area like this had smoke machines for this performance.
yeah.
That's how legit it was. It wasn't just, hey, this is a bar, live band tonight. This is a smoke machine.
There was a hookah.
Hookah.
Yeah.
Hookah was there.
What?
Obviously, everybody knew how to work it perfectly.
Yep, naturally.
And hookahs are very easy to operate.
Oh yeah,
they're the
not
best.
a mess or anything either.
Yeah, they explained it really well.
Not a
Actually,
waste
though.
of anything.
They
They showed up, put it down.
Boom.
Couple coals on there.
Have a good night. And that
You
was
guys got
it.
We did have a great night.
I don't want
Oh,
to change the
unbelievable.
subject,
Go ahead.
but you guys talking about this have you guys seen the concert that the acoustic concert that T-Pain put on recently?
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
Didn't see that.
Unbelievable.
He can sing. Yeah.
I didn't know
can
he had it like
absolutely
that.
sing.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Remember, though, there was a story about somebody from Atlanta who has a Vegas residency who's a big-time R&B star,
Wide.
Know who that is?
Yep.
allegedly telling T-Pain that he ruined music because of the auto-tune thing.
Yeah.
He did not need auto-tune.
Yeah, he was a good. He's a good singer.
Great
Yeah.
singer.
But every once in a while, you go wow, 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 and you put a little
Right.
sauce on
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
Can certainly
Little
bring the
whammy
party.
bar on
Yeah,
there.
War Pigs.
Foxy, how do you feel about the Lions, buddy? We got Stafford coming to town.
Uh-oh.
It was always supposed to be this, Pat. We talked about it about a month ago. Matthew Stafford goes to L.A. He fulfills his destiny. He wins the Super Bowl. Now the same old Lions, they're dead. It's the brand new Lions, and it is our destiny to beat Matthew Stafford at home. It's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be about 1,000 points. We just need to have the ball to end the game, and that'll be it.
And Jared Goff
Yes.
will stick the stake in the heart
Yep.
of Stafford
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
in Detroit. That would be wild. Do you think like the celebration of Matthew Stafford cools off in Detroit if he comes in there and Big Bad Wolf just
Yeah.
another year of the Lions?
Yeah, 100%. I'm
Okay.
done with him if he beats us.
Okay.
It's over.
Could you
And I love
imagine?
It's a
Jack
legacy
Goff.
game.
I respect
Okay.
that.
It's a legacy game.
I will say this. This is the biggest game in Detroit Lions football history. Like 100%.
Congrats, you guys earned it.
That's not an
When's the
exaggeration.
Stafford tribute? Is it
Got to be in
before the game,
warm-ups.
halftime?
Got to be in
It's
warm-ups.
not, yeah.
Are they going to do it for a playoff game? They're going to do it?
I think they would have to put a picture up and say thank you.
Something.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Has he not played there in the 2 years or what? Was it 2
They
years?
played in LA. They
Okay.
never played in Detroit.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, they'll do
Playoffs.
something.
Goof walking down the field to win the game.
His name's Jared Goff.
Throws a touchdown just right to McVay. Hey,
That'd be sick.
That
Fuck
would be
you.
awesome.
Or a suck it. Oh,
That is a revenge game.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
He's benched.
Remember, he
at
got
the end of
benched.
Benched.
For the Wolf.
The Wolf.
it. And then Sean McVay is
Rest in
down in Mexico,
Yep.
and he happens upon a hot tub that
Yep.
Matthew Stafford's in.
Just happens upon it.
Jay
They had-
Glazer.
With Glaze.
Jay Glazer was there.
Whitworth, cannonball into the pool.
Yep.
Smaller pool.
Drew Brees.
And they have a couple beer. I think Drew Brees was there playing
Yeah.
pickleball.
Yep.
He was offside. They could hear him
Because
though.
he can't throw anymore. His shoulder.
Kyle Shanahan was there, but not with everybody.
And they had a couple beers together in that hot tub while Whitworth was in the pool and Jay
Yep.
Glazer was laying out.
Uh-huh.
Drew Brees was playing pickleball on the side.
Of course.
Yep.
Against Cutler.
And Shanahan was looking at film over there. And McVay thought to himself, I can have a beer with this guy. I never had a beer with Jared Goff.
Never.
This ain't never happened again. Yeah, trade everything. Trade everything. We want Matthew Stafford.
Need him.
And they won a Super Bowl together.
They did.
And then now they're rebuilding a team pretty much.
Crazy.
Which is an insane thought because allegedly what McVay was getting offered to go to TV.
Last year, just
20
last year,
plus
they
a
were
year,
terrible.
right?
Which would have been like Madden. You know, back in the day, Madden coached young, successfully, and quick. And then he went on TV and just changed everything.
Yep.
It's like they were comparing McVay to him because McVay, whenever he speaks, fantastic. That's tough that's what the Lions are going to have to get through.
I
Yep.
know.
They will, though.
Of course.
Well,
They
the
have
Rams
to.
don't have anything to lose either. That's the thing. The Rams are kind of playing with house money. People didn't give them a whole lot of a chance this year.
Foxy,
Yeah.
Lions
close our
have
eyes
all
here.
the pressure on the
All right.
Lions.
let's close our eyes here.
You need to.
There's a minute 41 left. The Rams have one timeout.
Oh, no.
The Rams are down 6.
Oh boy.
Jeez. They got the ball after a touchback on the 25. Matthew Stafford is in shotgun. Puka Nacua is to the right. Cooper Kupp slotted to the right as well. Wow. What do you think happens for the next minute 40 there, Foxy, in Detroit with Matthew Stafford at the helm?
I think, as I'm envisioning this right now, I see Matthew Stafford hitting Cup. Boom, down the field. Quick one. Oh, no. Boom, hitting Puka down the field. Oh, no. We're at about 35-yard line.
Okay.
25 seconds left.
What?
Like,
Matthew
what's
drops.
the chant in there? Here we go, Lions. What is it?
It's Let's Go Lions.
Okay, that place is
Yeah,
great.
Kid Rock will be there.
And it's
Coming
loud.
back.
Yep.
It is so
Kid Rock.
loud. It is louder than the loud
Kid Rock.
Haas. I can see it now.
Front row
I
wearing
can
a
see it
tuxedo
now.
t-shirt.
It is so loud. Matthew Stafford, he drops back to pass. He looks left, not there. Hutch is on his ass on the right. He slings the pill. Brian Branch, interception.
Ooh, wow.
The place erupts. The Detroit Lions have just won their first playoff game since 1991. That's how it ends.
Wow.
That's a
I
good
hope that
fairy
happens.
tale.
That's incredible.
Could you imagine if that happens?
Or they
Exactly-
score,
exactly
kick the extra
what I
point,
saw.
and
I
win.
was going to say, or he throws a 75-yard touchdown to top on the first.
it's either
All of a
touchdown.
sudden, minute 25.
Bingo.
Detroit Lions.
Down by one.
There you just took the words out of my. It's either touchdown or pick six. There's no other option with Steph.
And then he's taking the helmet off.
Yep.
And he's probably giving one of these. You're welcome for one last shot.
Yeah.
And then walks off.
Think Eminem's in the building?
Absolutely.
What if it's like 4th and 3 on the 20 and they're going in and Stafford takes a snap and he kneels it? He goes, "You're welcome,
respect.
Detroit."
This is for you
Then he
guys.
takes his shoes off,
Yep.
puts them in the middle on the lion,
Yeah.
and then he says, "I bid you adieu."
Yep.
Oh,
Wow. That'd be a real Hallmark movie moment.
It
Yeah, it
would.
would.
Yep.
Build the
Storybook
statue
ending.
if that happens.
Someone might shoot him if he does that.
From where?
No, there's no Rams fans. So it
Rams.
wouldn't.
The
Well, I don't
Rams
think
have
he's getting
fans.
back on the plane.
No.
He's selling the house. He's not even seeing it again.
Moving back.
Anyways, is there one more overreaction we can hit? That was we should have done those earlier in the day. I believe the set is to be used immediately. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but by 2024, not only will Lambeau Field be renamed Jordan Love Field after he wins a record 20th Super Bowl, the Joe Barry statue will be unveiled down Lombardi Avenue as we show our appreciation to the greatest DC of all time. Never doubt him ever, says Lewis. Ty, I feel like you feel the same way.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the whole Joe Barry song and dance. He was horse shit all year. They beat the Bears yesterday. Let's not throw the guy a party. And you know, I mean, they need to fire his ass after the year.
Okay.
But,
It's also
but
What if they win it all?
it's going to be hard.
What do you do then?
It's going to be hard to win 20
NFC
Super Bowls by
championship?
2024.
yeah, I
too.
agree.
44.
If they win it all,
He said 20.
you say thank you for your services. Now get the fuck out of here. You suck at your job because he does.
Wins the Super Bowl, though. He just doesn't suck.
If the Packers win the Super Bowl, it will be because of Jordan Love and Lucas Van Ness, who is starting to get more playing time. Which it took 18 weeks to put the guy you drafted 12th overall onto the field for more than 8 snaps a game. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, Jordan Love looks unbelievable. I really do. I mean, we'll see where we're at on Sunday. I think they're going to beat the Cowboys. They're 5-0 last 5 games against the Cowboys. Last time the Cowboys and the Packers played in the playoffs, remember what happened? Boy, the Packers absolutely fucking gutted them at Jerry World.
Mason.
Yep. Now, granted, our current kicker is a little worrisome. Rookie.
No, he'll make it.
Anders?
Yeah, Durs.
He'll make it in Jerry World.
Maybe. I hope so. But he might not even need to because Jordan Love is he's just playing at a different level right now.
By the way, Aubrey misses his first kick. It gets blocked.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's a shame. Commanders get a big-time block. Good for them. Dallas Cowboys roll. They're a hot team as well. Packers are. Speaking of hot, these two teams are. Before we cover it this evening, do you guys want to make picks for this game, or do you want to just go into the game non-biased?
We're covering it, right? We can't pick
Covering it. So we're like Kirk. We can't.
I think Michigan's going to win for sure. I love Washington, but it's Michigan's time.
Or a dog shirt.
Exactly, and I like the Dogs, and I think Penix, like we mentioned earlier, he might work himself into the #1 pick. But it's Michigan's time. I'm sorry, Hawk. I know you just said, fuck you, flip me off, but it feels like it is Michigan's time.
I'm on Michigan as well.
Oh, so we're making picks.
Yeah, well, you guys don't have to.
No,
but I
you
just,
can't.
As a Big Ten guy, I feel like I have to. Now, granted, this is a Big Ten title no matter what, so I'm pretty excited about that. But I laid eyes. I mean, Michigan. Everyone was saying after they beat Iowa, who's going to stop these guys now? So I got to ride with Michigan.
How much did Iowa score on that?
They didn't score, but a lot of people were saying that, like, hey, if they can deal with this Iowa defense, they're going to be fine. They've seen everything.
Tone Diggs?
I've been on Michigan all week, but I'm on Washington tonight. I think Washington's going to do it.
Wow.
Hey.
So is that a waffle or is that an official decision-making process?
That's very waffle.
Okay, so you were all in on Michigan.
Yep, all week. And then I just kept thinking, they have played no quarterbacks. Penix is going to light it up.
Yep.
AJ Hawk?
I don't have a decision yet on where I'm
Okay.
going, but I'm
All right,
also
hey, listen,
biased.
don't
because
be a puppet.
We were on the field last week. I was at the Rose Bowl, so I have some recency bias. I wasn't at the Washington-Texas game. I didn't get to see them. Michigan looks awesome. I love their D-line. I love what their defense does. I don't know who's going to win. I think Penix is awesome as well. So
Blake Corum was
it'll be
awesome.
fun. Blake Corum.
Yeah.
The patience and confidence that dude runs with, and maybe, like I said, I'm biased. I watched it firsthand, but the game-winning touchdown run he had in overtime. You watch his demeanor was so impressive. His patience, and then just, oh cool, yeah, I'm just a walk in the park basically, boom, to win it all and send us to the national title.
Sounds like you just picked Michigan.
I didn't.
But you don't make picks.
You know,
Hey, you don't make picks.
No, that's right.
I'll know after pregame. I like to get down there pregame and watch everybody warm up.
Yeah, you're the only. You normally just kind of disappear for about 25, 30.
That's when I'm gathering info.
Do we ever hear the info though that's gathered?
Yeah.
Okay. Just throughout the.
Sometimes I'm not going to just, spit it out there for no reason.
Well,
sure.
Well, I mean, Buckeye Pete was giving you some stuff.
Yeah, Pete gave me a lot of stuff. I don't know if I can compute everything that Pete gave me, but I'm going to go find Pete pregame again.
Me too. I'm thinking about we're doing it the next couple hours.
He talks in zeros and ones. It's tough to
unload, Pete, please.
Yep.
I need everything that you have, okay, for this evening. And he'll have a lot.
Oh, yeah.
What did he say earlier? He's got 2 knees.
I got 2 knees, 2 ankles, and some big boy pants that go over those knees and ankles. So yeah, if you guys need any tidbits or anything like that, come find me before the game.
That was phenomenal.
So good.
D-Butch?
Give me Washington. But I'm going to call it a Big 12. It'll be a Big 12 championship. It won't be Big 10 yet. But give me
Pac-12,
Washington.
Pac-12.
Sorry.
I like to just give it to the
Pac-12,
Big 12.
But, yeah, Michael Penix, I
combine
think he's too good. Too many weapons. I do love Michigan's defense, but Will Johnson's obviously a phenomenal corner, but just too many weapons out there. Give me Washington.
Wow. The panel is split. What will Coach Corso pick?
Wow.
Picked Michigan last week.
Yep.
He likes them. I wonder if he'll remain with that or he'll change it. How about Desmond Howard? Who's he going to pick?
I don't know.
Probably Washington, I think.
And then who's going to win a national championship? Will it be Kalen DeBoer and the Washington Huskies, or will it be Jim Harbaugh in the Michigan Wolverines? We're incredibly lucky to be here. We'll be on ESPN2. ESPN kicks off at 5 Eastern. We appreciate you all so much. Thank you for allowing us to do this every single day. We're going to continue to try to show up, have a good time, cover sports, and hopefully keep being a part of this sports world that is only getting hotter and hotter, it seems. Sports are more popular than they've ever been, and I think there's good reason for it, because sports are great. And tonight is a great depiction of 2 phenomenal things. These 2 teams have been through a lot. They've showcased adversity. They showcased togetherness. They showcased putting things aside that maybe would separate them, and instead came together. That's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Yes.
That's what football is. And tonight we get to crown a champion. We're lucky to be here. We thank you all. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're back tomorrow with Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. So,
Yes.
Buckle up.
I'd be excited.
Can't wait.
yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Goodbye.